Hey, Froggy, how you feeling this morning?
Fine. Why?
Checking. Roxanne, how you feeling this morning?
I feel good.
Yeah, I feel fine as well.
I was sick a couple weeks ago. I'm good now.
Hey, Fester, how you feeling this morning?
I'm okay. He's sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you not see the group text this morning?
It was so graphic. Be happy you didn't.
Well, according to Fester's text, it seems that it's like he licked all the handles, doorknobs, all the buffet surfaces, and tongues on a buffet on a cruise ship.
What's the matter with him?
Well, listen, I don't have an actual diagnosis, but it sure as hell sounds like he's got the norovirus. Ew.
It's bad.
Yeah, so Fester sent us all a text at 4:16 this morning. 4:16, hey, the wicked case of the bleeps that I had in January is back. I'm not coming in. As for today, I will not be more than 10 feet away from the toilet.
Stay hydrated.
Man.
In January, isn't that when he had the donuts and got sick?
Yeah,
Is that what he's talking about?
You know, Fester had that mystery illness. This is back in January. And Don, the IT guy, brought in a dozen donuts from, I think was it Krispy Kreme?
Yeah. No.
They were Dunkin'
No,
donuts.
they
Were
were
they-
fancy.
They were Dunkin'?
Yeah, they had all kinds of icing and stuff, and then he squished 12 of them together.
Hold
That's
on,
the
hold on.
problem.
That's right.
Roxanne, what do you mean they were fancy?
Okay, you know what? Don
Is
has
that like pizza? Fancy donut?
I was conflating another time that Don brought donuts from like a, with just the quirky flavors like bacon on them and stuff. So he brings his donuts. He does not discriminate between the donut places. He hits all of them.
It kind of spreads the wealth around anyway. So Fester, back in January, he took, I think it was 8 or 9 donuts, and he compressed them all together. And I think we saw this on social media, some stupid video that was circulating. And Fester took like 9 donuts, smashed them all together, and ended up with really a stack of donuts compressed to something like the size of like one donut. It was just totally smashed, and then Fester ate it and
expanded in his stomach.
Clearly it was like an expansion, and then Fester was knocked out of commission for, wasn't it almost a week?
He went to the hospital.
Yeah, he was hospitalized, and I don't think that it was the donuts. Fester has these weird little ailments. Fester has...
There's a lot of underlying conditions.
What is an underfat condition?
means
Well,
like
everything's under his fat.
Under a layer,
So,
subcutaneous layer.
yeah, he has an autoimmune deal with myasthenia gravis, which seems to be in remission now, but he's just had some weird little medical issues that popped up, and he was hospitalized, for a couple of days back in January, and I don't think we ever got a real explanation. I don't know if the hospital ever gave him a real diagnosis of what the hell happened to him. Anyway, no Fester today. It's sounding like norovirus. Andrew, what do you have? Andrew says he's got some audio for us. What is it?
I can tell you right now, I ate those 6 donuts and I am not doing well right now.
How sweaty he is.
Technically, you're eating 9.
Well, I mean,
He's having the donut sweats.
I casually ate 3 of them.
Part of the meat sweats.
And then we had the challenge and I ate 6 more.
Dude, you've had 9.
And
Oh my God.
Those last 6 donuts, I'm just not doing well. The donuts were compressed and now they're expanding. And I'm just not doing well in this moment.
It's going to blow.
I don't know when that's going to happen.
Can I
but
interest you in a waffle thin after dinner mint?
I couldn't possibly.
All right, let me get back to Fester's trunk. Hey, don't explode before I talk about your trunk.
All right.
So there you go. That was audio from back in January, and now Fester's out today with some kind of stomach issue. Fester is not one. Like Froggy, you'll take the day off if you have an eyelash that falls out. You're...
Those hurt.
Oh, you know me.
If they get in your eye, it can really hurt.
Now, listen, Froggy, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't... What are you doing?
We're just, you're going to say something to belittle me, I'm ready.
I'm not belittling you. I'm just saying
I
that
haven't had a day off in a few years, bub.
what do you mean?
Even if I take off this show, I'm working all day.
Okay.
So
but Froggy, it just seems that you have migraines.
This show isn't my priority. Let's be honest. If I don't feel up to it, I'm not coming in.
Man, I'd love to hear that. Isn't that fantastic? So,
Well, listen, it is what it is, as they say in the biz.
Let me get my thought out.
Good.
So it doesn't surprise me when I get a text from you that your back hurts. You
I have to be 110% to come in here.
Your hair hurts. Your stomach
My
hurts.
earlobe is aching.
Your head hurts. You got a terrible migraine.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, brake light's not working on your car. It doesn't surprise me. Don't take this the wrong way.
No, I'm glad it doesn't. I'll be sure to take more.
I'm not belittling you, but when Fester calls in sick, it is a bit surprising because Fester is typically a very reliable individual showing up for work. That's all I'm saying. Don't take it the wrong way.
Yes, I'm not reliable.
I'm not, backhanding you. I'm not belittling you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fester is descriptive when he does have ailments.
Hey, if you throw a handful of little confectionery items that come in multiple colors, if you throw that at somebody, what is that called?
When you throw confectionery, like treats?
Yeah,
like
when you throw a circular confectionery small item that comes in a rainbow of colors, if you throw that at somebody, what's that called?
Confetti?
No. So you just said that I'm belittling you if I threw that stuff that I just described?
Skittles?
Yeah, beskittling.
Oh.
Yeah, I
You didn't mention they were candies.
I don't know. Whenever I hear belittle, I just think of Skittles.
I think you're the only one because I've never thought of that.
I don't know.
I thought, is he going with Skittle because it rhymes? Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
I just got an email and a direct message from a listener that wanted to make me aware of a new song that he's heard. Have you heard this new song? It's so good. And sent me the link to it. So this is my DM. And then this individual, Chris, sent me an email as well. I mean, he really wants me to hear this song. So I had Andrew pull the song. And listen, obviously a very active listener, sending me a direct message on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio, sending me an email at mj@mjmorningshow.com. So I want to share with you the song that this listener has apparently just heard, this brand new song, and thinks that we need to hear it. So I'm going to share that next, right after the break. Loaded Thursday. We're festerless on the MJ Morning Show. Back in a minute, 6:08 traffic sign. Let's grab Pat with the latest. MJ Morning Show, Q105, MJ and crew, minus Fester today, 6:20 Thursday morning. A lot of stuff to get to today, including a listener that really wants us to hear a new song that he really likes. Got a message from Chris. Chris, he double-teamed me, man. Chris sent me a message on Instagram, so I got a DM from Chris, and he sends me the link to the song and the video.
Is this his song?
No. This is
It's just a song he likes, and we're going to play it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I want you to hear this.
This is weird.
He said, have you heard this new song? It's so good. And he says it's got like an 80s vibe to it. And then that was the direct message on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And then he sent me an email, and I saw these first thing this morning. So, Chris, let me share with the audience the song that you've just heard that's brand new that you love. Let me share this with everybody, including Roxanne. You know, I like that. I mean, that's got a it's got a little good beat to it. It's kind of it's a pop like it. It's a spry song. Let me start the whole thing from the beginning. That was just 15 years old.
Dude, that's the lead title for the Pitch Perfect movie, one of my favorite movies.
Are you serious?
Yes. She's naked in the shower.
Hey, Chris, that song came out in 2009.
But Chris, you have a good ear. It is quite a good song, and it's going to be big. It's going to be really big.
Where'd you hear it at?
That song came out in 2009. That makes the song about 15 years old. Chris, did you just emerge from a coma?
I love Chris. I can imagine going to a restaurant with Chris, and Chris is like, check this out. They have these things called hamburgers. It's crazy. They put a piece of meat between two pieces of bread. You're going to love it.
Wow.
Everything is new to Chris.
Fresh new song called Walking on Sunshine, I think. Have you heard it? It's really good.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Makes you feel good.
Brand new. It just came out. Brand new song, Walking on Sunshine.
It's such a good message, really.
You know, Chris, I heard a song yesterday for the first time, and it's going to be a hit. And it's something about In the Air Tonight, and there's this drum break in the middle of the song. It's like, boom, boom, boom.
That sounds crazy.
And it's incredible.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I heard it for the very, very first time. Oh, and here's the song that Froggy's talking about.
Idiot.
Yeah. You know what? Let me give you another one. I heard another song, Chris. This is brand new, and it's got a real poppy kind of club feel to it. And again, in the last week, I heard this song. I got a feeling this could be a hit. Yeah, first time. All right, Chris. Are you putting me on, Chris, or
You're a hump, Chris.
No, don't call Chris a hump. Stop it.
I just sent Andrew another one too that I just love to. I think it could be. I just heard it for the first time, and I think it'd be good in movies.
Yeah,
do you have it?
No,
he didn't get it.
No,
All right, never mind.
There it goes.
Okay, well,
yeah, you gotta make sure he has it before you set up a joke. All right, 6:27 at the MJ Morning Show. I don't know if this is a good idea. Do you think that nursing homes should have a happy hour?
Absolutely.
I think they deserve it.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do there?
A Fort Worth, Texas nursing home that regularly hosted happy hours for the residents. Well, one resident wasn't happy because the resident wanted a double pour of liquor.
Give me a double.
Then it turned into a brawl.
I live in this rat hole. I want a double.
Oh, man. Yeah, the nursing home is called Remarkable Healthcare of Fort Worth.
That's right.
And
it's probably all they look forward to is that happy hour.
And according to the feds and the agency that keeps track of nursing homes, they have a history of serious quality issues. Listen to this. The nursing homes, I'm sorry, I just laughed out loud when I saw this. The nursing home's most recent citation stemmed from a incident involving a happy hour. The staff had been hosting happy hours for about a year. According to a state inspection, during one of the weekly happy hours, the residents could order rum, whiskey, vodka
Where's my sailor, Jerry?
with the mixer of their choice.
Sounds great.
According to the report, nursing home staff did not check whether the residents being served had any diagnoses or prescriptions that could be dangerous when combined with alcohol. So here, you got people in a nursing home, they're elderly.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
They probably have a crazy cocktail, a regimen of drugs. They probably have, those pill boxes.
They probably take 40 a day.
They probably have a pill box the size of a sofa, All right. And a lot of those drugs, I mean, just look at the labels that the pharmacists stick on, don't drink with alcohol, may make you drown, all the little warning signs. So at the beginning of a recent weekly happy hour, one resident wanted a double shot in his drink.
Oh, yeah.
And demanded this of the nursing home's activity director. When the activity director explained, can't do that, declined to give him a double shot, the resident became upset, threw the drink in her face, and then attempted to grab the bottle of liquor from her.
Jeez.
A nursing home brawl.
How about you give him a double?
Do you think there are any nursing homes here in the Tampa Bay area that have a happy hour where they set up a bar?
I think the medication thing is the one. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but the meds. I didn't think about the meds.
Yeah, see, Froggy, you got to think a little further ahead.
Not me. I think I'm a shallow thinker.
Yeah, very shallow.
Very shallow.
It's puddle deep.
Kiddie pool over here.
Kiddie pool, what do you say? Puddle deep?
Yeah, very like 2 inches deep.
That's Froggy. Puddle. Actually, 2 inches, I think, is too deep, actually. That's the deep end of your pool is 2 inches.
Half an inch.
All right, 6:30 at the MJ. I want to know, do any nursing homes locally have liquor-fueled happy hours for their, 80, 90-year-old residents?
I know my grandmother never did, but I would take her to Olive Garden and she would get tanked on red wine. Then they'd take her back and she'd yell at everybody. It was awesome.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. My grandmother was mean.
A
She was
mean
cool. No, she wasn't a drunk. She just, dementia.
But wait a minute. She got mean?
Oh, yeah. When
Just in general, or got mean when she drank?
No, she got mean when her dementia kicked in.
Okay, and then the alcohol exacerbated the
The
issue?
alcohol took care of the situation.
What was the worst thing that she did in Olive Garden when you took her?
She threw a glass of red wine in the server's face. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Love you, Nan.
Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Stop the I prematurely hit the traffic music.
What are you talking about?
Because I've got to do some live spots for
Okay.
I got to do some live spots for our great clients. So I prematurely hit the traffic music at 6:31. Hey, folks, I'm going to give you a hot tip that is going to come in handy. It might be something you need right now. It might be something you need. Get into this in much more detail later on, but that Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer on that Rust movie set on the Alec Baldwin movie, where he's going to go on trial. It's estimated in, I think, July is what the report said. So we'll get into this in later on. But the armorer, guilty, involuntary manslaughter. Early morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show. Woman arrested for child neglect, letting a 12-year-old take her car on a joyride. What the hell?
Wow.
Yeah, Evansville, Indiana, 26-year-old Evansville woman arrested. Cops say she let a child drive a car, and then that led to the endangerment of the child and others on the road. Love the time on this. Shortly after 1 a.m. on Monday, police said that a man called 911 to report that his sister-in-law, Lindsay Pearson, took 3 kids out joyriding. So wait a sec. 1 a.m. Monday. So earlier this week, 1 a.m. Monday morning. So Sunday night into early Monday morning. Hey, kids, let's go for a joyride. According to the arrest report, Pearson admitted picking up 3 children after having drinks at Rick's Sports Bar.
You know, I'm looking at her mugshot. She might have been doing something else at Rick's. I don't know if they did a blood test, but got some scabs on her face. It might be a little like
Maybe she.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Pearson reportedly told cops that she was trying to teach one of the juveniles, a 12-year-old, how to drive. All right. After a little drink-fueled night and maybe something else at Rick's Sports Bar, nothing like picking up a bunch of kids and having a little driver's ed course at 1 a.m. on a Monday morning. There you have it.
When you're drunk.
Boy. Officers say that she admitted the child drove her and two other juveniles around town. When asked, Pearson claimed that she did not even know the 12-year-olds could not drive on public roads. So she said, really? She didn't know that 12-year-olds cannot legally drive a... I had no idea. That's news to me. You're telling me that 12-year-olds can't drive cars? Well, blow me down. You gotta be kidding me.
You know, I told you I started to drive kind of early. My dad he let us drive early.
In what capacity? Like,
she drove to Jacksonville when she was like 15 or something.
Like what? Oh, that's right.
Miami.
You told us a story that your dad's in the passenger seat and he's got you driving to Miami from Tampa?
When I was 15. I had my learner's permit at that point.
Well, that's okay.
But I was driving before that.
But
when I was 14.
So you were driving. Why are you telling us there's nothing wrong with the learner's permit story?
Yes, I know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, the bad thing about that was...
Hold on. Don't waste my time with the learner's permit story.
Hey, Froggy just brought it up. He's like, remember, she told us about driving out of town.
But tell me the 14-year-old story.
The 14-year-old story is like, hey, kids, I was like, I can't wait to learn to drive. Okay, let's go to a parking lot and let you drive.
My dad at least let me do that.
Oh, that doesn't count. There's nothing wrong with it. We're talking about, were you on the regular roads driving at 14?
One time I did pick a group of he was having a board meeting. He said, hey, Roxanne, can you give us a ride from the board meeting to, Hooters afterwards? And so I drove the whole...
Wait, when you were 14?
I'm just kidding. No, I just drove around the parking lot.
Hold on, you just made that up?
I did.
I'm so
I did. I made that
part
up.
Can you
please stop interrupting me if you let me get a breath out? When I was 14 years old, my dad let me drive. He also let my sister drive. We'd go to parking lots and drive and learn how to do stuff.
That going to a parking lot doesn't count. I'm talking
I think
about
if a police officer came there and wanted to arrest someone or cite someone, they would. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But my point is my dad never had me drive at 1 o'clock in the morning like this woman did.
Man, I'm tired now. All right, so...
I thought it was very clear.
Officers say that Lindsay, this woman, was taken into custody, was screaming at 2 a.m. outside of an apartment complex. Anyway, she was arrested, booked into the county jail on charges of child neglect, resisting law enforcement, disorderly conduct, criminal recklessness. Nope. You know what that's like? And... what's the line from WKRP in Cincinnati? And as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Classic.
Yeah, as God is my witness, I thought 12-year-olds could drive. That's what it kind of I was trying to think of that. All right. This is kind of skin crawling. A Royal Caribbean cruise crew member has been accused of installing hidden cameras in the guest bathrooms. Can you imagine? You're in your cabin on a cruise ship. Oh, what's that up in the ceiling? And you got some sicko. Arvin Joseph Mirasol, 34-year-old guy, was arrested earlier this week after a woman found a camera inside her bathroom while on the Symphony of the Seas on Royal Caribbean. More like Pervert of the Seas. That's a breach of trust. Yeah, so it was traced back to a Royal Caribbean crew member who has since been arrested and accused of setting up hidden... What's that noise?
You're hearing things.
No, what am I...
I heard something.
Hold on. What am I hearing?
It stopped, right?
Did
it stop?
What was that?
It was my computer was turned on. The
really?
volume was all the way up.
Okay. All right. So This is just, this will make your skin crawl. You're in your cabin, you're in your stateroom on a well-known cruise line, and you've got an employee, a crew member that's set up hidden cameras to record guests in their bathrooms, in their staterooms on the cruise. That's disgusting.
Ugh.
Yeah, the guest who was staying in the room with her sister and mom said she reached under the sink to get a roll of toilet paper and then found the camera affixed to the counter and alerted security officers. Yeah, this is an affidavit from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. So I guess this Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, is this like, what was it, like Fort Lauderdale? I guess the port there is, I guess, where the ship is docked. Yeah, Mirasol worked as a stateroom attendant responsible for servicing guest cabins, including cleaning, restocking towels, and apparently hiding cameras to get people going to the bathroom.
I've been on a few cruises. You don't see a lot of hotties on them.
That's disgusting. Say it again?
I mean, they're probably not it's probably some like old lady.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. Are you suggesting that?
Yes, what?
Are you suggesting Froggy and I want to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, please.
Are you suggesting that there are not attractive women that take cruises?
Not many. I mean, I've been on a few.
What is your evidence of this?
A lot of grossness.
You are so
the men
chauvinistic.
too. No. I mean, like people. The people are gross, not just the women.
You're saying that. Well, all right. So you're saying only gross people take cruises?
No, I mean I've been on a few cruises. I qualify.
I'm going on a cruise. I'm probably gross, but
No,
I'm going on a cruise.
you would be a rare find.
When are you going on a cruise?
Sometime this fall.
Where are you going? Do you know?
I'm going on a Disney cruise.
Oh.
My sister and I are taking our girls on a Disney cruise.
Oh, so no dig dug?
No, the funny thing is he's going to be in the Bahamas. So we're going to that's one of our stops. So we'll wave to him from the dock.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so authorities in Broward County, when the ship docked, seized his electronic devices, his phone, USB equipment, found numerous videos of naked females undressing in bathrooms. They also found child pornography. Man, this guy's a treat.
Okay, let's mention something else really important about this. If you've been on a cruise before, at least the last time I was, the bathrooms are really, really small.
Yeah.
Right? You can barely get in to move around to take a shower. There aren't a lot of hiding places to put the cameras. This guy's going to get caught. He's an idiot.
Mirasol told, this is the crew member, the sicko pervert, he told law enforcement in an interview that he installed the cameras and had been doing so since he started working on the Symphony of the Seas back in December. So he started working 4 months ago in December, and he's been installing cameras. So how many guests have been violated on this cruise ship? That's awful. Listen to this. He said, I want to control it, but I can't. Man, this guy's a sicko.
All right, this guy has issues. He's going to do something else.
He also admitted that if he likes whoever is staying in the room, he installs the cameras and chooses girls 16 years old or over.
Oh.
How creepy is this? If he likes the guest, so if he's attracted to the female guest, if they're 16 or over, that he installs a camera in the bathroom to get them naked. Oh, my God. This guy's a total perv. 6:50 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons, perverts in the news. Listen, just check for cameras. Wherever you go, if it's not your home, not your environment, hey, you got to be careful in your own home. Remember, we had a story not too long ago about some relative that installed cameras in a home. It was either trying to get... I'm trying to remember whether it was the homeowner, but there was a story where the person installed cameras in their own home to get people going to the bathroom. I can't remember all the details, but man, check for cameras. Look around. If you get some weird looking, black looking device with a glass lens or something, might want to.
I'm almost afraid to look.
All right, 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons in the news. 7 o'clock hours on the way. Hey, a supermarket checkout clerk. So the person, supermarket checkout stand, freaks out on a woman because she didn't do this at the checkout stand. Are you guilty of this? Has this ever happened to you? Why did the supermarket cashier freak out on a customer? That's next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Yes. I know the Pizza Putz is in town. I was informed by no less than 200 people yesterday. Yeah, the pizza review, Dave Portnoy from Barstool. I'm not a fan. I've brought this up numerous times.
I love that guy.
Oh,
he's at Delos's. It's right by the beach.
Yeah, so he is kind of cruising around. He was in St. Pete yesterday. I saw that he reviewed one place, which I think does a really good job. I don't know if he's going to hit Sardo's or Nona Slice House or, some of the other places in St. Pete. You got some decent places in town.
Maybe you should go heckle him. You find out where he's going, and then you should go heckle him.
Listen, I'll get into this later on, but listen, the guy's got a sordid history, and I'm not a fan. And, when he goes to places and can't even pronounce the name of the place.
Loses all credibility, huh?
As far as I'm concerned.
How about Pat George coming in here and telling you about it and you saying, yeah, I heard about it yesterday.
Well, what do you want me to say? Oh, thanks, Pat. I didn't know that. Yeah, so our traffic guy just rolled in. Hey, and he said, hey, your favorite pizza review guy is in town. I'm like, yeah, I know, Pat. Thanks.
The Delos's is really good, I think.
I'll get into this later on. I am not a fan.
You're just jealous.
I'm not jealous.
Drips. Jealousy.
He's got a little, kind of sketchy history. So hang on. I will address coming up in a bit. 7:02 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me run this by you. I saw this on Reddit, one of the discussion threads on Reddit. And a supermarket cashier kind of got aggressive and bullying with a customer because of this. The customer in front of this other individual did not have enough money to pay for the 8 or 9 items that they had on the belt. So the food is scanned, the total comes up on the register, and the person did not have enough money. The cashier and the bagger apparently expected this other person behind to cover the shortfall. And when they didn't, apparently got all attitude-y. I mean, this is a crazy story.
I mean, if that person volunteers to, that's a wonderful thing, but they're certainly not obligated to.
Some of the details here.
I wouldn't.
The person was in line at a grocery store. This happened in Arizona, apparently. And this woman had 7 or 8 items on the belt, but then said, oh, hold on a second, ran to go get something else. I think we've all seen that. I mean,
something that she didn't have money for.
Well,
that's annoying.
Apparently, one of the items on the belt. So get a load of this. The person doesn't have enough money to pay for the food items they have, and one of the items was an $8 jar of spaghetti sauce. So, some of the higher end varieties, you got like Rayo's and
I like that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I make my own sauce. I don't buy any jarred sauce anymore. It's just too easy to buy your own tomatoes, get a great can of, certified DOP San Marzanos. And it's so easy. I mean, I call it a Pomodoro, but I use canned San Marzano, certified, not the phony stuff, like Cento. They're not real certified San Marzano. It says it on the label, but those are not certified real San Marzanos. The Cento, the yellow labeled stuff, and there's just a lot of claims for San Marzano. The point is, I get canned tomatoes, garlic, some salt, and olive oil, and then some basil at the end. You don't want to put your basil in early because it'll make things bitter. You want to put your basil in like in the last 30 minutes. But the point is, I can make the most unbelievable sauce that rivals anything. I can make it, the San Marzanos tend to be a little expensive, but I can make it in some cases. If you look at a pint or so, I can make it probably cheaper than the $8 or $9 like designer sauces.
But what about your labor costs? Because I will get a jar of Michael's of Brooklyn and throw that. That's really good. And also you mentioned Rayo. That's good too.
Make your own sauce. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, my friend Samuel, he had a really good sauce from his, I think it was his grandmother's sauce.
Grandmother's recipe?
Yeah, and everybody loved it. So he started to bottle it. And it was pretty cool. He put them in like beakers.
Like lab, like chemistry lab beakers.
And I remember the saying. The saying was, "The sauce you could have, but the secret, she's mine." And
hold on, what?
The saying was, "The sauce you can have, but the secret, she's a mine." And
the sauce. Wait a minute. This guy would just say that.
Yeah, and then one time,
the salsa you could have but the secrets are all the mine.
That was the saying for the sauce. It was a sticker of his face, and it said, "The sauce you could have, but the secret, she's of mine."
What?
And then we had the conveyor belt set up, and the conveyor belt went like super fast. What are you laughing at?
What are you making? What are you saying?
And this conveyor belt started going all fast.
Are you on edibles again this morning? What is going on over here?
We lost all the sauce because the conveyor belt was going too fast, and they all fell, and Zach and Slater were all pissed.
All right,
and Jesse.
All right.
It was great.
This is another Saved by the Bell show.
Yeah, it was Screech's sauce.
Oh my! Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a Saved by the Bell episode. What'd you think I was saying? Roxanne, you remember that one?
Let me get back to the damn. You remember that episode?
Yeah, and he had a mustache, and he looked like a.
The sauce that you can have, but the secret, she's of mine. I'll bring it up on YouTube and show you the commercial.
You and your freaking Saved by the Bell crap, Froggy.
You know how many people were out there knew what I was doing, and you're the only hump that doesn't know because you're a boomer.
Well, because I'm not a boomer. I'm a Generation X, just like you idiot.
I'm going to say by the Beller, all right?
I never watched that show.
So great.
It was not.
Oh, it was fantastic.
All right, so let me get back to the checkout story. So the woman, she can't afford her groceries, but she has an expensive $8 jar of tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce on the conveyor belt. So she's short of money. When everything gets totaled up, she runs and gets the item that she left, and she's making people wait. So now everything's totaled up. She doesn't have money. She's short. So the cashier and the bagger, they look to this woman behind, expecting her to cover the difference. What is that expectation?
That's
if somebody wants to cover. Now, I've done that.
The pay it forward thing, right?
It's happened. I've had somebody in front of me. It's been a while. It's been years ago. But I've had someone, and I don't know if they were like on welfare, food stamps, EBT. I have no idea. I don't think they were like, rich, but I covered the difference. I think once I covered like $5-6 difference.
What?
It's a long time ago, but there shouldn't be an expectation because apparently the cashier and the bagger got hostile toward this woman who wouldn't cover the shortfall for the person in front that couldn't pay for the entire amount at the checkout stand. So listen to this. Allegedly, the bagger reached in to her pocket and pulled out her credit card and paid the difference. The cashier and the bagger should not have to. That always drives me nuts as well. If somebody's on a very limited income, if somebody has challenges in paying for just necessities in life, why are you buying an $8 jar of sauce instead of buying some cheaper store brand or buying an extravagant, expensive jar of sauce when you're going for one of the high brand names or the gourmet? That's the word I'm looking for. One of the gourmet brands. That's just stupid. But what is this if you can't afford it, then you shouldn't be buying premium products. You got to learn. You got to go to Aldi and get a cheap jar of sauce.
There's a supermarket in my neighborhood called Fresco. Go there,
or go to like the Dollar Tree, and buy a crack jar of sauce that's half price. Or I don't know.
Well,
those are called go backs, man. Those are still good.
What if the next person in line didn't have enough money? Then do they get mad at the person behind them? And then the person behind them? Like, how do they know? Why were they deciding that this was money, Mr. and Mrs. Moneybags behind them?
The guy looked like Peterman or something.
So this is from Reddit, and it was like, am I the bleep hole? This is a thread on Reddit where people list things that happened and, an odd situation, kind of like a Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. And they ask, am I the bleep hole in this situation? And the responses were pretty much, you have no expectation, or there shouldn't be an expectation that you are a bad person if you don't cover the shortfall of the customer in front of you at the checkout line.
It's crazy. Let me tell you something I do at the checkout line that I've gotten some looks for.
Oh, boy. What's that?
Well, those sticks that you put to
the separators.
The separators, right?
That's to separate you and your items from the person behind you or in front of you.
Yeah. It reminds me kind of like longer than like a shuttle run stick that you might use.
I bet you those things are filthy.
Probably.
I bet you those are just germ wands.
Well, I read an article one time that you're supposed to actually lay those vertically, not horizontally, to give yourself space.
Wait a sec.
I swear. Yeah.
No. Oh, you're saying instead of putting it across.
Yes, across horizontally.
Put it
lengthwise.
Lengthwise. There you go.
Lengthwise.
MJ doesn't know vertical and horizontal. Just say it.
I was teaching Daviana last night. You should have been there.
Wait a minute. Hold
on.
Well, hold on. This is interesting.
Yes.
You're saying the separators, the little plastic bars to separate you from the customer in front or behind. You're saying that you heard that you're not supposed to put it perpendicular across the belt, and you're
Exactly.
supposed to put it vertically in line with the belt?
Precisely. And the reason is to give yourself a bigger gap between that next person.
Why would you need a bigger gap?
Because then they're not all up on you trying to butt their groceries
Their
up
fish
right
against
against
your
yours.
ice
Hold on.
cream.
Yes.
I've never seen anybody
Ever.
in
Stand
all,
behind me in a supermarket and you'll see
hold
it.
on. You put the bar.
What a freak.
You put the separator bar longwise?
Yes, and the looks that I get, it's
Yeah.
like I am flashing people
Because
or something.
nobody does that.
I did 7 years at Publix, and not one person did that.
I have, Froggy
Ever.
worked at Publix all through high school. Froggy,
Ever.
you never saw this.
Never. And if I did, I would
What?
probably kick him out and beat him with it. I mean, that's crazy.
Who does this? Nobody. You're the only person in America that does
And
this.
the looks that I get are outrageous.
Because
People-
it's idiotic.
They're the
No one
exact
does this.
length of the belts.
Hold
They're
it.
specifically made.
Who told you to do this?
I found it online. I saw
do you-
it somewhere online, and ever since I
How
read that, I was
long?
like,
How long have you been doing this?
since I don't know, maybe it was like started in COVID times. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe, but it said that they're designed to go that way. That they're really supposed to be used that way.
They're not supposed to go
listen,
that way.
The looks that I get, and then guess what I do? I politely tell the person who's staring at me like I'm a weirdo. I'm like, I know it seems weird, but I just found this out. We're actually supposed to put him this way to give more distance, and they just look at me like,
Oh my God.
That is not true.
Look,
What?
read it.
All right, Froggy just handed me
First thing I typed into Google, first thing pops up.
a meteorologist from a weather guy?
Yeah.
A meteorologist from Arkansas, Ryan Vaughn, made a post stating that the proper way to place it is down the middle of the conveyor belt long way.
yeah,
That must have been where you saw it.
Who is Ryan Vaughn? Some meteorologist? Well, he's in Arkansas.
And why are you
I mean,
following his videos?
listen, it's well known that people from Arkansas have below average IQs.
It's the meth capital of the world.
What the hell?
I'm like, this is actually the proper way to do it, and I kind of shrug. I'm like, I know it's weird, but it's what I read.
I'm sorry. That cannot be correct at all. All right, 7:15 at the MJ. That's bizarre.
Wow.
7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Back in minutes. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop. Maybe we ought to take calls on this when we get back. All right, hang on. Back in seconds. MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hour and 20 minutes nonstop starts next. obviously the Backstreet Boys. We have New Kids on the Block tickets we're giving away today. 9 o'clock hour. Sometime in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll tell you when to call in. New Kids on the Block, Paul Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff going to be at the amphitheater coming up in July, and we'll have your tickets a little after 9 o'clock. Stand by. I don't want to belabor this because we have a lot of stuff to do, but if anyone wants to call in and agree with Roxanne that the correct way to use the grocery separator plastic bar that you put on the conveyor belt at the supermarket to separate your groceries from the person in front or behind you, if anyone listening agrees with Roxanne that the proper way to use the bar is to put it long ways, not across the belt. I've never seen anyone do it. Froggy had an illustrious 7-year career at Publix as a bag boy.
That's called a tenure.
And
I did a 7-year.
7-year stretch at Publix.
Yeah.
Froggy never saw anybody, and Roxanne insists that that's the correct way to use the grocery separator bar is to put it longwise instead of across.
Listen, I read a story about it, and I can tell you we're probably not going to get many calls in agreement with me because of the kooky looks that I get when I lay it that way.
I can't imagine.
It's okay.
But because it is kooky. If there's anyone listening that concurs with Roxanne that that's the proper way to use the bar at the grocery store, 800-990-1047. I'm going to move along here. I'm going to go about our regular business. If some calls roll in, I'll put them on the show. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047.
Two quick things. Number one, I also read the reason it's easier for the scanner that stops the bell to recognize that stick is there.
What?
Yes, like, the scanner, the person who's scanning stuff, that they can see it better because it's not hidden by stacks of groceries. You know what I'm saying? So they see the stick there and they know it's time to stop the conveyor belt, right?
Oh my God, every line is ringing.
And guess what?
I would move it.
I know that I look like a weirdo doing it because I don't see anybody else doing it. However, I'm addicted to it now because it does give us like a little bit of nice personal space. You don't feel like the person's all up on you behind. And when I move it to the one in front of me, I'm not all up on them.
What other non-conventional or unconventional weird crap do you do?
Why don't you follow me around all day and you will write a long list?
Don't you go through the car wash in reverse?
All right. Look, every line is jammed here. Every single line. 800-990-1047. Froggy just made a revelation. This is another controversial deal. And
wait, this isn't for radio listener consumption.
Well, sure it is. You just told me during the break.
That was just for me and you and Roxanne to converse about.
And it's for our listeners too, because I'm going to bring it up.
Well, you're the idiot that has a stupid opinion on it.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Just the stuff that just develops on this show. We'll get to Froggy's little issue in a minute. We got a loaded segment here. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ is underway right now. Let's grab Mia in Tampa. Mia, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, MJ.
Hey.
I sort of agree with Roxanne because I actually put mine like diagonal so it does catch the sensor, but not so far that it wastes a lot of space.
Hold on, I didn't hear what you said. You do what?
I put it like diagonal across.
Oh, wait a minute. So,
oh my God.
Why
don't you just stand it straight up?
We're going to have every angle by the time we finish with these phone calls. Then, we're going to have ones that are standing straight up, balanced on their end, straight up in the air. So you put yours on a diagonal?
Yeah, so that it's not taking as much space of the conveyor belt as if it were completely parallel. But I have seen multiple like Reddit and articles and stuff with people saying that they do put it parallel to the entire belt.
Thank
you.
Offense.
Mia, have a great day. Thank you. James in Wesley Chapel. Hey, James, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Roxanne, do you also push the shopping cart like backwards from the rear?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's a great question.
Oh, see that? Oh, my gosh.
Roxanne actually removes one of the wheels in the parking lot with pliers, so it's like just dragging on the floor. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, James. Funny,
That's all James wanted to do.
it's a funny phone call. Haley is in Palm Harbor. Haley, you're all right. Andrew, I'm just going to clear the lines here, and I got to move on. Haley, you're up. Hi, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Good. How are you guys?
We're great. So, what are your thoughts on Roxanne's unconventional weirdo shopping habits?
I think it's a fantastic idea. I've never done it, but I think it's a good idea. Personal space, the stuff won't get mixed up with someone else's stuff. Great idea.
It doesn't get mixed up when you have the bar the normal way on the checkout conveyor belt at the store.
Not so fast.
There's certain moms like myself that overload the stuff just to get it on the line, and it could, some stuff could pop over.
Topple over the bar, the horizontal bar. Yeah,
All
if
right.
you don't have it.
So, Haley, are you saying that next trip to the supermarket, you're going to place the bar?
I'm going to do it. My son's in the car with me, and he says, Mom, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if somebody will look at me funny.
Do it. And you can't stop. Once you start, you can't stop. And you take the looks. You're like, go ahead. Don't knock it.
I love all these funny things you guys talk about in the morning. Last one I remember was the fork conversation, and I thought it was forking amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah. A lot of people commented on my dislike for people that use forks backward. I use a fork like straight on, like a shovel. The people that use the forks and they hold it like up in the air and then feed themselves with the fork facing the underside facing outward. Man, I hate that type of fork eating. It's like backward fork eating. Haley, thanks for the call. Jay Liana in Hudson, you're on the MJ Morning Show. All right, two more calls here, Andrew, and tell all the other lines. I got to move on. Jay Liana, hi. Am I saying that properly?
Yes.
All right, well, welcome, Jay Liana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. All right, so have you ever done this on the conveyor belt at the supermarket?
No, but I am going to try it. It's like it's a good idea because you don't have everybody on top of you.
Yes. And I'm telling you, then you start to ask yourself, what was even the point of putting it horizontal?
Right. So
what did it even accomplish?
What are those bars, like maybe 16 or 18 inches or something?
Okay,
The exact width of the belt because they're made to go across the belt.
Exactly. Jay Liana, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Whoa, her voice changed.
Oh, yeah, voice did change
She's
a
like,
little bit.
okay.
That was like Michael Jackson.
Don't take any pictures of my feet, promise?
Seriously,
That was the best video.
there was an old video of Michael Jackson where he was like
He's
trying
getting out of a limo.
He was getting out of a limo, and he's like talking to the paparazzi, and it's
He's
like,
don't take pictures of my feet, right? Like that?
and then he does like a high pitch promise, and then he says,
Promise.
it's just bizarre.
Promise.
One last call. Ronald in Hudson. Hi, Ronald. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
I used to work at a Target 18 years ago, and I got 2 write-ups from a manager that insisted that I put the bar vertical. And I never did that. I always put it perpendicular or horizontal. And I got written up for insubordination.
What? This is crazy.
Insubordination.
I'm saying quote unquote insubordination because there's no real reason to write someone up other than they don't like them, and so that is what they used.
As asinine.
So Ronald, I will not hold it against you if you never place it vertically because that's probably like a trigger for you.
No,
or
I would
something.
put it diagonal, perpendicular, every which way to intentionally get under this person's skin.
And are you a Target hater now, or do you have a long-term scarring, or do you shop at Target?
You ever seen Billy Madison, Steve Buscemi to the People to Get list? Kind of like that now.
Oh, gotcha. All right, man.
No, I'm kidding.
So you don't have an issue with Target?
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Not a
I
good sign.
appreciate it. 7:35 at the MJ Morning Show. I've seen multiple stories, and Rox, I've seen half a dozen of these. You sent me one last night, and the headline is virtually the same on these stories because it happens early Sunday morning. The clocks go ahead. We enter daylight saving time again. That's right. There's no S at the end. It's not daylight savings time. It's just daylight saving time. And at 2 a.m. this coming Sunday morning, Saturday night into Sunday morning, we set the clocks this time ahead an hour. And I've seen a whole series of stories, essentially the same headline. Daylight saving time is coming. Here's everything you need to know. What the hell do I need to know?
I know.
Before you go to bed on Saturday night, you set your clock ahead an hour. And guess what?
Yes.
So many people just use their cell phones for their timekeeping these days, or their Apple Watch or whatever. That sets itself automatically. Your cell phone changes automatically. If you have a mechanical watch or a digital watch that is not hooked up to the time signal, like WWV or whatever, if you have a mechanical watch, yes, like I like mechanical watches. I'm wearing a mechanical watch. I wear mechanical watches. I collect mechanical watches. I love mechanical watches. So I will have to set the watch I'm wearing now, or whichever one I choose, I will have to set it ahead an hour. So everything you need, look at this. Daylight saving is coming. Here's everything you need to know. What do I need to know? You set your clock ahead an hour. And in most cases, your phone, your Apple Watch, it's going to automatically set the time itself. Everything I need to know. That's all you need to know.
That's a lazy clickbait tag on to the story. Everything you need to know about brushing your teeth. Everything you need to know. All you need to know is change your stove. Change the time on your stove, and don't forget to change your car. That might not change automatically.
100% right. That's all you need.
Amen.
Total clickbait. Absolute clickbait. All right, now this bothered me. I've got two stories that I think are just unfair to women, and this bothers me. Number one, and this is a Florida study, Channel 28, ABC Action News had this, that women in Florida pay close to $200 more than men in car insurance. Why?
Yeah.
Why would that be? I don't understand that, because in most cases, it's the male
Hot
that
rods.
Yep. It's usually men that are the more aggressive. I mean, sure, there are some aggressive female drivers out there, but hands down, there is no way in hell that there are more dangerous or aggressive female drivers than male drivers. Male drivers absolutely outnumber women drivers. So this is a new study that showed that women in Florida pay close to $200 more than men in car insurance, and that is the largest disparity in the entire country. So new study shows that women pay an average of $2,687, while men in Florida pay an average of $2,488. So that is $199 difference annually.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, we don't make more money than men. So I guess it's easy to cover those costs for us.
On a national basis, the numbers are a lot lower, but still women pay more than men on average for car insurance. National average is about $32 more, according to Lending Tree, who I guess analyzed the data from 35-year-old men and women with mostly clean driving records and minimum and full coverage car insurance policies. So why? The analyst said using gender as a component of car insurance rates is actually banned in 8 states. There are states that ban this practice because it has been controversial and considered unjust. I agree. If you look at California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, those are voting states that ban gender rating or ban which prohibit insurance companies from using gender. North Carolina and Pennsylvania also, I guess, or some states have the practice that's just unfair and allow. Florida, though, is not one of the 8 states that ban the practice. The other thing, when I look at the average car insurance that they claim in Florida, that in Florida, average is $2,687 for men, $2,488 for women. I think that's way too low right now, because I've seen something recently that the average car insurance, I think we even talked about it, that the average car insurance was like high 3,000s, low 4,000s. All insurance is out of control in Florida. Homeowners insurance, it's a gigantic freaking mess. And now you got the state wants to push people off of Citizens onto other insurance companies that aren't even they're not even like certified, or there's a word I'm looking for. I can't remember the word, but the Citizens is bad enough. And then they want to shove people off of Citizens onto like even like worse insurance companies. I'm trying to remember the terminology, but these are like bottom of the barrel insurance companies. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, I got a problem with this. I don't think
me too.
Yeah, I don't think women should be paying more because again, I believe that men are far more reckless than women.
So what can we do about it?
I mean, how often do you how often do you see like a really road raging female driver versus men?
No.
I would have to say it's 10-1, maybe 20-1. You know what? I want to go to phones on this. I want to go to phones on, first of all, if you're a woman and this pisses you off that in Florida you're paying on average $200 more a year for car insurance than men, but on the road rage issue, I mean, have you seen any insane road raging women? Listen, I'm sure we'll get calls. But do you agree that the aggressive speeding, weaving in and out on your rear end, honking at you, that those are generally male drivers and not women? However, listen, I'll take calls. If you have a story of just a hell on wheels, aggressive, dangerous, insane female driver, I'll take your call. I'm just saying that it's more men, absolutely, than women. All right, let's go to phones on this, or any little angle related to what we're talking about. And then while we're screening calls, I'll give you the other item that I think is unfair to women. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. 800-990-1047. Well, listen, I see the first call is screened. It's Dan, and I think Dan might have a good point. Hang on, we'll get to the calls in a second. But as far as aggressive, angry, just nasty, swerving, weaving, dangerous drivers, I see far more men than women. But Dan has a very good point. Tony is now screened as well. So listen, some interesting angles are coming up here.
I see those. I don't know about that. I think men are equally responsible.
We'll get to them in a second. All right. You know what? The second item for women I'll get to after calls because already every line is jammed and there are a bunch of screened already. All right, Dan in Auburndale, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Dan.
Hello. I've called on before a couple times.
Oh, I remember, Dan.
So one of the things that I'm noticing with driving is I see a lot more women on their cell phones. It's not that they're aggressive, it's that they're not paying attention. I see a lot, and I see guys do it too, don't get me wrong. I would be perfectly fine with it being non-gender biased at all. But I do see a lot of women that they're on their cell phones, they're not paying attention, or a lot more women are more likely to have their kids in the car that are going to distract them.
Roxanne, can you quickly look up, Fester's not here, and well, Fester's a clod on the computer anyway, but can you look up, hang on. Can you look up in Florida, I don't know if you can find data in Florida, who are involved in more accidents in Florida, men or women?
Okay, I have the United States. Would you like that information before I get to Florida?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that men cause an average of 6.1 million accidents per year.
Yep. What?
Women cause 4.4 million accidents.
Well, so men...
But hold tight.
Yes.
But hold tight.
So men, according to that, men cause 2 million more accidents a year than women.
Yes, but then they're saying that males do 60% of the driving, but only cause 58% of the accidents. So it's actually women. That's where they extrapolate from. They're saying men do more driving. So
all right, but still, they cause 58% of the accidents, driving more. But still, that seems to... Hey, Dan, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Have a great day. Tony is in Land O' Lakes. Hello, Tony. MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey there.
Yeah, just like Dan said, I'm on the road all day long, and unfortunately, you see a lot of women texting, and you see these rear-ended accidents because they're really not paying attention to the road. I mean, I see it all day long. It's crazy.
All right, so you're jumping on the bandwagon with Dan that you think that you see a lot of distracted, not necessarily aggressive and nasty driving, but you see distracted driving with women.
you're driving. You
Right.
know, you have Bluetooth in the car, but they don't utilize Bluetooth. The phone up to the ear, texting, you just see it.
Yeah, well, listen, I've mentioned this many times on the program. I'm amazed that when I'm driving home every day after the MJ Morning Show, I get on 4th Street, I get onto the Howard Franklin Bridge, 275 North, and the number of people that are zipping northbound on 275 that are driving 70, 75 miles an hour on the bridge, and they're looking at their phone. And I'll look at some people as they're passing me, and they're on their phones for 5, 10, 15 seconds. I think I've seen people drive a half a mile just looking at their phone without looking ahead. Tony, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Tony.
Sandy.
Hey, thanks for calling, Tone. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. The Tony Danza impression? Very good.
Sandy's in Palm Harbor. Hey, Sandy.
Hi, MJ.
Are you going to give us a John Travolta Sandy now?
Sandy! Oh!
No, but I actually talked to you guys about the Tom Cruise thing a few years ago, and you put me on the air. But I had a different experience with my sons are in college, 20 and 21 years old, cheapest guys on the planet. They heard that women were cheaper.
Hold on. What you said? Your kids are the cheapest guys on the planet?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. They have their car insurance policies together. And when we called car insurance, they said, yes, if you guys identify as women, your insurance will go down about $50 a month. They have multiple cars on their policy. But they were required to go to the DMV and officially register as them identifying as women.
Wait, did they do that?
No, they didn't. They didn't. That was a little too far for them.
So they wanted to change their him and he to she and her?
Yes, just for the insurance.
Man.
They're so cheap. They've actually tried going on like the free cruises as a married couple.
Yeah.
Try and get you to buy the timeshare, whatever.
Froggy, can I get an Sandy?
Oh, Sandy, let's stay out till 10 o'clock. We'll make out under the dock.
You kind of morphed John Travolta into Tony Danza.
Hey, I'm not doing John Travolta. Doing a different character.
All right, Sandy, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
Bye, Sandy.
Travis is in Palmetto. Travis, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, so I think you're totally focusing on the extreme ends of this. Having been a previous total loss claims adjuster for an insurance company, the insurance companies are basing these things on the averages, on what they see. If they're seeing more loss history with women, then they're putting that way. I had my own anecdotal experience that my ex-wife was a terrible driver. She hit curbs, all sorts of stuff. It was I was scared to death in the car with her.
Right.
So I think you're
That's interesting. So you were a total loss claims adjuster for what insurance company?
Mercury Insurance.
All right, heard of Mercury. Do they still have that building off of Ulmerton and Feather Sound?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've always seen the Mercury Insurance. So you were a claims adjuster, and your ex-wife was an awful driver. What was that like?
I was honestly scared to death to have my kids in the car with her. She's a good mother. I'm not trying to disparage her, but driving with her was just scary. It was and I think it comes down to, I've read some studies before that with women, sometimes situational awareness, that almost fight or flight response, is more acute in men than it is with women.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for the call, Travis. Have a great day.
Thanks. You guys are great.
Appreciate it. Cindy is in Brandon. Cindy, you're next on the MJ Morning Show. Andrew, I'm just going to clear these lines. I got to move on. Yay, Sandy, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cindy. Cindy, you're up.
It's Cindy, yeah.
Yep.
I live in South Tampa, and I drive to Brandon every day. I will tell you there are as many men texting as they drive as women are. In fact, I was sitting at a red light once, and just for some reason I hesitated, and this guy comes flying through. Never once, through a red light, never once looked up from his phone. The other day I was driving home from work, and there was some young guy sitting in the driving, and he kept swerving over to other lanes. And he was just sitting there playing on his phone. I do see it with women.
Yep.
It's not men only. But you can't point your finger at women. It's this whole, we got to be on our phones no matter what generation coming up. Even my age, people are getting on their phones, and we're so used to constantly being on our phones.
Cindy, thanks for the call. Now, let me go to Ralph now. Ralph's in Bradenton. I think Ralph is going to try to counter what Cindy just said. Ralph, screen says you're a truck driver. Is that true?
Yes, I am.
What do you see on the roads?
Well, I'm on a semi, and I can see, like, every time I pull up to a light or something, you see the women either on the media watching Facebook or something or texting. You could tell that they're not paying attention to the road. And that's what, most of all these accidents, they get people get rear-ended because of the women.
So you see, you're claiming you see more women on phones.
Yes.
All right. Ralph, thanks. All right, 2 more calls, and we got to move on. Andrew is in Largo. Andrew, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hey, good morning, gang. How are you?
Hey, go ahead.
Good. Hey, so we're talking about this, and I'm going to admit that I'm probably the more aggressive driver between myself and my wife. Okay. And what's unique is we both have not had any claims for the longest time, and we got the insurance renewal yesterday. And my wife's insurance renewal just for her vehicle alone was $1,659, and mine was $1,200. So that's a significant difference.
Yeah, but what are the vehicles? Because sometimes.
Okay. My wife is driving a 2022 Jeep Wrangler.
Yep.
And I'm driving a 2020 Chevy Silverado.
Yeah. So category-wise, they might consider the Jeep, whether it's repair costs or accident data for whatever reason. Maybe the Jeep is getting a higher rate. And those are the numbers you gave me are what, every 6 months?
Every 6 months.
Yeah, so I mean, your insurance, you're looking at what, like $2,500 a year, and your wife is like $3,200 a year, right?
Yep, and then here goes some more numbers, because when you're talking about how the insurance has gone through the roof down here in Florida, I sent messages to my boss saying, hey, my insurance is going up and the cost of living is going up, and the company's not matching it up. So in a text message that I sent to the boss, last year at this time, my insurance, I was paying $287 a month for both vehicles. Now I'm at $476 a month for the same vehicles, same coverages, which is a 60% increase.
Yeah, everyone's seeing that. Florida, our homeowners insurance is through the roof. And Florida, we have among the highest car insurance in the freaking country. And we're getting nailed on this. Thank you, Andrew. Have a great day.
You guys too. It's a good day.
All right.
It is a good day.
It is a good day, Tampa Bay. All right. So
we got a lot of interesting stuff. I found something else as far as fatalities and car crashes. I don't have to tell you, right? Like,
why don't you bring us down?
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
reasonable. It's
Right.
a reasonable question to ask, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it reasonable?
It's reasonable.
Okay.
28,000 fatalities caused by men, 10,000 caused by women in 2023. So
I mean, the numbers you're giving me seem to
3 to
show
1.
that the guys, like I said,
Right.
I anecdotally believe that I see many more bad, aggressive, dangerous men on the road than women. Ray, last call on this. Oh, Ray's got a crazy woman driver story, apparently. Ray, you got the final say on this before we move on. MJ Morning Show, go.
Hey, MJ, this is Chef Ray again from Ipswich, just to let you know, the old clam town.
Yep.
I sent you an email. You didn't send me an email back, but I do have a crazy story. I'm driving down 19, and I'm trying to take a U-turn, and this woman comes I guess I can't say ass, but barreling down the road.
No, you can say barrel assing.
Can I say ass?
I love the term. I love barrel assing. I love that term.
She comes barrel assing down the road, so I have to take this U-turn, and there's no light on 19 for like 10 miles or whatever, but the light that she has to slow down for, she is like cruising, and I had to pull out. If not, I would have sat there for like 20 minutes trying to take a U-turn. So I pulled out. I wasn't like really in front of her, but she comes stepping on the gas even faster just to make a point. So then we pull up to the light where the light stops. She rolls her window down. She goes, I could have smashed you from behind. And I looked at her and said, yeah, and you could have paid for my car, too.
And then you would have called the Kemp Law Group, because accident or fall, you call Kemp Law.
There you go. Hey, MJ, just one quick thing.
Hey, so what, before you hit me with the last quick thing, you said that you emailed me. I didn't email you back. I try to respond to, everyone I can. What did you email me and what didn't I respond to?
Oh, no, I've called you before. I was the old lightning chef with... yeah, so anyways, I told you I'm from Ipswich. I'm from the clam town. The best two places in St. Pete, I'm knocking it down the place you were talking about, Boston's, whatever. I've been there. But the best two places is Indian Rocks Beach is a place called DJ's Clam Shack. That, to me, is the number one. And the number two is the Casual Clam off of 4th Street in St. Pete. But with that being said, real quick, the reason why you like the Clam Box and TJ's better than Woodman's is because you like what they call corn flour instead of cornmeal. So when you're eating those other ones, you're probably saying it's not, all the clams are Ipswich clams. It's basically how they're prepared. So you're eating the cornmeal when you're eating at Woodman's, which me being from Ipswich is really what I like. But most like out-of-towners, they like what they call corn flour.
Gotcha. Hey, Ray, thanks for the clam talk.
I could talk about clams all day.
Appreciate it. All right. The other woman-related story was, and Rox?
Yeah, I have two I want to add, two quickies, but let's hear it.
Women do $6,400 more in unpaid housework per year than men. Yeah, this is just like an average based on like an average salary. And this is a analysis looking at Bureau of Labor Statistics, time use survey, hourly wage data. And women in the house do about $6,500 more unpaid housework a year than men. And listen, I got to be honest, I would concur. I would say that is ridiculously low in my house because I don't do a lot of housework. Hang on, let me get Michelle on the phone here quickly. Hold on a minute.
Do that, and I'll tell you, I mean, I hear you, and maybe this is new information to men who are listening, but this is our life. This is what we talk about. These are our pity parties that we have behind the scenes. My sister and I are like, working women, it's like the lowest place in society. We have to do everything. Like, we're just like swamped with the housework, with the kids. Yes, that's true. We know this. This is no secret. Maybe it is to you.
Blah, blah.
All right, Michelle did not get to the phone fast enough.
She better be mopping.
Let me tell you another little grievance I have about cost of things. Razors. It is cheaper to buy men's razors than it is for us to buy razors to shave our legs.
So hey, Michelle, are you listening to the show right now?
I fell back asleep.
All right, so I just did an item here that a new study shows that women do $6,400 on average more unpaid housework a year than men. So do you do $6,400 more housework in the house a year than
more than that.
Well, that's what I just said. I'm just being honest, and that's exactly what I just said. I'm like, I tell you what, that number is low because I do about zero housework. Listen, I do.
Can you even tell me where the washing machine is in the house?
We have a washing machine.
It's on the east wing. Even I know this.
Will you stop it? We have a washing machine.
Right, exactly.
Do we have a dryer too?
We have a dryer.
Where are those located in the house? I've never seen them.
There's a nice little room called the laundry room down the hall.
I've never seen that room. Where?
I know you haven't seen it. I thought you were in there.
You're on the map, Michelle.
Listen, I'm being honest. Do we have a kitchen sink?
Do you even know how to put the dishes in the dishwasher?
I do not.
Or that there's this new thing called a little button that you push it to just let it wash the dishes itself?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done.
I think you're being sarcastic, aren't you?
I haven't done many dishes over the years. I have never.
In fact, when you went on vacation with Julian and you went to Little Cayman, you guys had a condo. Who did the dishes to clean up before you left that unit?
Julian.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I do a lot of other maintenance issues around the house.
Do you really though?
Yes, I really do though, and I don't do I don't do a lot of housework or
I make ice cream.
That's
what you do.
Your little baby.
I make pasta sauce.
Yep, exactly. Thank you, Roxanne. Exactly.
So I want to make cacio e pepe on Saturday, and Michelle's like, "Nope, you're not making a mess in my kitchen."
No,
What if I agree to do the dishes for the first time ever?
not a chance. Nope.
All right. See what I'm up against here. All right.
You guys need a maid.
You love my cacio e pepe.
Yeah, but you know what? We're going to eat on Friday. And I'm going to get a face full of food on Friday, so I don't feel like stuffing my face on Saturday. It's called self-discipline.
So what, you're going to fast all day Saturday after... What are we doing on Friday?
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's... so we've decided to do that? All right. So
Well, that's what you said. That's what you said. That was the plan.
on Friday,
Yeah.
Michelle's got a bunch of shoes, and we have a longtime fan, longtime listener. You know America's Cobbler, the shoe guy out in Lakeland, who has the huge Instagram account, fixing shoes and everything. So Michelle's got a whole bunch of shoes that need to be fixed.
A whole bunch of shoes.
Yeah, so we're going out to see Jim McFarland on Friday afternoon after the show. And I think Michelle's plan is to stop at Fred's Marketplace for the big buffet out in Plant City.
I won't be able to eat the rest of the weekend.
All right.
I remember the last time I couldn't even ride home without unbuttoning my pants.
All right, Fred's, I'm coming tomorrow with Michelle. Fred's Marketplace Buffet in Plant City. I'm coming with Michelle. We'll see you tomorrow. And same thing with America's Cobbler. It's McFarland Shoe Repair, and the dude has like worldwide followership. They just did like a story on him in like USA Today, TV stations around the country. He apparently he consulted on a movie recently. So this guy's like a master shoe cobbler, shoe repair guy.
Oh, cool.
And he's been a long time listener of the MJ Morning Show. So we're heading out to see him tomorrow. All right, Michelle, I'll see you later.
Bye.
All right.
Okay, I got to jam one more thing in about women's grievances. This is a good one.
Go ahead, jam it in.
We have this weird thing in our house.
Jam on it.
Every time
Remember that song? Remember
Jam on it.
Remember Nucleus?
Jam on it.
Jam
Pump
on
up
it.
the jam. I have to tell you, my kid does that. She dances to that in her hip hop class. They think it says poop up the... Yeah, okay, listen. Okay, hold on. Get to the hook.
No, this is just instrumental.
Okay. Well, when you get to the hook, the kids start cracking up. I don't think the intro is the song on their hip hop dance because they think it says poop it up, and the whole class laughs hysterically in the middle of the song. Tell me what you think. What do you hear?
Well, I said this is an instrumental.
I know,
so
let's
we're
speed
not,
it up.
No,
the whole song is an instrumental.
This is an instrumental version. There are no words on this one.
I wasn't understanding that.
Yeah.
You know what instrumental means?
That's what intro. I use this as a rejoiner. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you hear the words.
Yeah. No, there are no words on that version.
I thought you meant like as the instrumental, like the beginning was instrumental.
No. The whole thing is there are no words on that version that I
Just
have.
fast forward it.
Next time you listen to it, you'll hear it. Okay, this is the thing. Doug and I get in the car.
Hey, is this? Do we have? Which one is this? All right.
Pump up the volume.
All right. So here's the one with words now. Andrew just brought it up.
Poop up the volume. Poop up the volume.
It's pump up the.
I've totally screwed everything up. Pump up the jam is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, God. So it's not even. Pump up the volume is Mars. And you're saying pump up the jam, pump it up.
Yes.
Get
and
this party, so whatever it is.
They think it says poop it up. And they just fall down laughing when they're trying to do their dance.
Tell you what.
Okay.
4-year-olds, right? Or 6-year-olds or whatever the hell it
their
is.
kind of humor, and ours too in this room. All right. So we get in the car to go out anywhere. And the first 5 minutes in the car, we're always mad at each other. And the reason we're always mad is because it takes me an hour to get ready. And it takes Doug, literally 3 minutes. He'll come in.
Yeah, I'm the same thing.
I have to hire a sitter to come to my house to watch my kids while I get ready for an hour. And then he's like, it just take me 2 minutes. And he's like, you're just mad at me because I can get ready so fast. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I am mad at you because you can get ready so fast. I'm jealous. I'm a hater. And it's even worse than that because it makes me hate all men, that all of you can get ready fast.
You hate me because I get ready fast?
I'm jealous.
That I don't have to put my face on?
I'm very jealous.
Man hater.
Andrew has Nucleus jam on it. Go ahead. A little bit. Haven't heard this in a while. Yeah.
Poop on it.
Wiki. Jam on it. Remember this?
We know.
Oh.
Yeah, we know.
Don't they go wiki?
You gonna rap, right? You gonna do it now, right?
Jam on it. right, 806. Well, you hate that song?
Oh my God! Yeah, money.
Guess what I did yesterday? Oh, it's so annoying this time of year.
Oh, okay. Let me think. What's annoying that you did yesterday?
What
This
the
time of
things
year.
falling out of the trees? The sinus things?
The pollen?
Yes,
The
yes. I had to deal with the freaking, handfuls of catkins, man. Oh my! You know what catkins are?
Catkins. I've never. No. Tell me.
I'm telling you right now that most people listening, I would bet 99% of people listening right now have no idea what a catkin is. So you're going to learn something new every day on the MJ Morning Show. A catkin is that annoying, dangling, worm-like, stringy, spirally, brown mung that comes off the oak trees, and it just sits on your car, and I hate it. And of course, the last week or so, we've had a pollen attack here locally.
Oh, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it fall out of a tree in South Tampa. A little breeze came in, and it fell out like it was snowing yellow snow.
It is that yellow, greenish powder. And the last week or so, folks, you know what I'm talking about. You've come outside and your car is covered in the pollen. It's just a mess. So that is the radioactive uranium yellow cake looking stuff.
Ugh.
That's the pollen from the oak trees. But the catkins are those little danglers. I think catkins is a word, but also I think maybe ants
I don't know.
is another. I'm not an arborist or anything, but it's those little dangler stringy things, and they suck, and they stick to your car. And yesterday I drove to work because we had that storm, not last night, but the night before we had the storm and the heavy winds and the rain. It just, because I have numerous oak trees in my yard, and those little dangler little bastards all over my yard, all over the car. And listen, at 5 o'clock in the morning driving to work, I wasn't going to wash my car off at 5. So I drove yesterday to the office, and my car was just covered in the little oak tree, stringy, dangler, spirally, rotini-looking little son of a... So, I'm driving 70 miles an hour on the bridge, and the things are not coming off the car. They're still stuck to the car. So yesterday, after I got home from the show, I spent like 10 minutes with the hose, just hosing all that crap off the car. And when I said handfuls, you know what's the worst? You know the gap, the bottom of your windshield where the hood goes, and where the in the little indent, the little cubby area where the windshield wipers, in that area, man, I pulled out scoops of those little oak tree danglers, with my hands. I'm pulling out, and where did they all come from? So listen, you know what I'm talking about. Those things are called catkins, the little spirally, dangly, annoying little sticky worm-like caterpillar tree mug. Catkins, Catkins.
Get these catkins out of my face.
Exactly. Get these sons out of my life. All right, now, Froggy, I got to bring this up. Froggy was bragging. This is the last commercial break that we had. We just started, at 7:25. We started.
I wasn't bragging.
Well, I didn't say
I said I've solved my lawn issues because, my lawn guy quit because of the poop.
Sorry. Froggy would let the dogs in the yard, not clean up, and the lawn guy would, step in all the poop in Froggy's yard.
And it would jam up
the tires.
Right.
It would jam up it.
Yes. All the poop in his lawnmower tire treads and everything. So Froggy's lawn guy fired him.
Oh, whatever. Screw him.
Usually it's the other way around. I fired 7 lawn guys before I found the guy we're using now. And, we've been using him for 15 years, maybe even more.
Is he on the chopping block?
No.
It's tough to find a good one.
Yeah. So, no, we've got a good lawn. He's been around for years.
I love mine.
Oh, you want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, I don't know if I should say this.
Oh, say it.
I don't know if this is... you know what? I better not.
Why?
You wuss.
Because I don't know if it's a secret.
What's it about?
Well, yeah. Who does it have to do with?
I'm kind of at the point of no return.
Yeah, you are. Just
I'm kind of at the point of no return right now.
change the names and tell us.
All right, so
use kettle.
We only pay him once a year.
Okay.
He doesn't want to be paid like every month.
Okay.
He likes getting a lump sum from us at the end of the year. Yeah.
Huh.
So we don't pay our lawn guy every month. So Michelle just hands him a wad of cash.
Perfect.
In December, like before we go, typically on our ski Christmas vacation, Michelle just hands him a wad. I'm probably going to get yelled at because maybe that's like some secret like slush fund he's got going.
Oh, great.
You know, I don't know. Jeez. All right, anyway, so back over to Froggy. Froggy just revealed to us during the last commercial break, like at 7:20, that he's having artificial grass installed, that his lawn problems are over.
That's right.
That he's having artificial grass installed. And I'm telling you, this elicited a visceral reaction from me. I hate the artificial grass because we have some neighbors in our neighborhood. It's low. It's only like 5% maybe.
We got some too, and I think it looks lovely.
I have like 2 houses like across the street from me, and there are a few more down the street. So on my block, I think there are like 4 or 5 houses with the artificial turf. I hate it, Froggy.
Why?
I just don't like it. I don't think it looks good.
Well, I don't think your hairdo looks good. I mean, what are we doing here? It's everything subjective.
Well, I'm just saying that you're all excited about your artificial turf. I don't care for it.
Would you think I give a rat's patoot about what you think about my lawn? Let me take that back. You think I give a rat's ass about what I care about? You think about what I think about my lawn? What?
Well, yeah, exactly what?
You know what I mean.
What are you saying?
I don't care.
So you're having your artificial turf installed today?
I think it's going in today, and I'm very excited. I'm going to lay naked in it.
Well, hold on, like front yard and backyard?
Just the backyard.
The front you're keeping?
Yeah, the front we're keeping natural.
Right. So you're putting artificial turf in the back.
Yes, and I'm excited. And Roxanne, I think, agrees with me.
Also, there's a quality difference. Some looks better than others. Like some looks really cheap, like it just came off a roll at Scotty's, or not Scotty's anymore, but you know, Home Depot or whatever.
Well, my friend just bought a new house, or he just moved into a new house, really nice house, and the front yard is natural. And it's just the backyard that's artificial, just like you're doing, Froggy, right?
Yeah. And you go to MJ's yard, there's holes, there's dirt, there's doo-doo.
You don't know don't judge my yard.
You're judging my
Don't
yard.
judge my yard.
You got that little statue of a midget peeing in your pool.
Tell you what, though, I just fired my weed control company.
Oh, okay. I
you
think
need
they have
a new guy?
Well, yeah, I think
I got a good weed guy.
Well, here's the deal. The sprayers that come out and spray your lawn. My lawn, it's like I was getting more weeds. It's like
Maybe they're spraying weeds.
I'm telling you, I think they were coming out every month and spraying weed seed on my yard. I mean, should my weed company actually seemingly produce more weeds in my yard?
That would be like your housekeeper making your house all dirty.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. I don't know if this bodes well for Alec Baldwin, but the Rust armorer that Hannah Gutierrez Reed was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter late yesterday. News broke about 6:30 our time. This is the trial out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But she was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. That's for the fatal shooting of that cinematographer, that Helena Hutchins, and that was on the set of Rust, that low-budget Western that Alec Baldwin was one of the producers and acted in. She was in charge of weapons on the set. She was found not guilty of tampering with evidence, but she was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. And, of course, somehow a loaded round got into a .45 caliber revolver on the set. I mean, and there should be no live ammunition within 2 miles of a movie set that you're using, guns and fake, should be fake bullets. It's preposterous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty loosey-goosey around there, it seems, under her watch.
Yeah.
Like the Wild Wild West. Froggy, you said you watched some of the trial?
I did watch some of it, but I didn't watch yesterday because I didn't know it was going to end.
Dude, hold on. You watched the trial on Law and Crime?
Law and Crime?
You watched and you missed the actual verdict?
I missed it, damn it.
In the closing arguments yesterday, prosecutors claimed that Gutierrez-Reed was ultimately responsible for the weapons and the ammo that killed Hutchins when Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger while filming a scene. I would agree with that. Alec Baldwin has some culpability. Again, he's one of the producers on the movie. Not supposed to point the gun at somebody and pull the trigger. Even like a movie weapon. I wonder what this means for Alec Baldwin. Remember, the charges I think were originally dropped, and remember they recharged him again. What was it, last fall? That they recharged Alec Baldwin. No. Yes.
So doesn't this verdict mean not good for him?
Well, that's the question. So the 26-year-old, she was the armorer. She was in charge of the weapons. And apparently it was so loosey-goosey that she also was doing other stuff, like she was like a grip on the set. They had her doing the weapons, but also I think she was carrying other props around. She was doing other labor on the set.
Makeup, hairstyling.
I don't know if she's doing all that, but I don't know how
Maybe just concentrate on the guns.
That's the point. How about you concentrate on the guns? How about you make sure there's no live bullet in a gun?
And I was watching Tombstone the other day, and not one person died on that set, and the whole movie's a gunfight. I don't understand. It's from the 80s. That armorer was obviously better. Why didn't they just hire him?
The question, though, remains, does this bode well for Alec Baldwin? Is there a chance that Alec Baldwin could be convicted of involuntary manslaughter? They recharged him with manslaughter. Now, Andrew, do you have the possible sentence for Hannah Gutierrez-Reed? Did you see what that was? Because I didn't see what Rox, can you look? I meant to do this. See if you can find quickly what the possible, if you're convicted of involuntary manslaughter in New Mexico, what is the possible sentence that this 26-year-old young woman could get? If you could dig that up, that'd be fantastic. But Alec Baldwin hang on.
18 months.
Andrew, what do you have? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
All right, so both Andrew and Roxanne just came up with a possibility of 18 months. So Alec is going to be a couple of months away sometime. I think it was this summer, June or July, that Alec Baldwin is set to go on trial. Speaking of, that's not a good segue. I'm gonna let me delete. I'll just hit the dump button. Boop. Okay, dump. Now I don't know if you sent me this or I saw this last night. That eating carbs is making you ugly.
Ooh. Okay.
God, carbs are so satisfying.
Oh. You mean like bread?
Yeah, like
bread and pasta and
carbohydrates.
Well, Italians eat a lot of that, and I don't find Italians to be. I find that to be the opposite.
There's new research that eating carbs makes a person's face less attractive.
Huh.
Got carb face?
Yes, it is. Dude, it
like
is.
Like a doughy carb face?
It's a Pillsbury Doughboy face or something. No, there's new research out of France. And listen, the French love their breads, their croissant. Croissant. How do you say it? It's like
croissant.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I have my croissant?
Yeah. It's like croissant. Or nothing beats a phenomenal French baguette. That crispy outer layer and the fluffy light as air interior.
I love a baguette.
Yeah, nothing beats a good baguette. So the French, they know their carbs, man. They know their cheese also.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do. So new research out of France shows that the opposite sex finds a person less attractive after they've eaten refined carbohydrate-filled foods.
Oh, geez. So this is like immediate, an immediate effect. This isn't like, I'm a lifelong carb eater. This is like I had spaghetti for dinner, and now I'm hideous to my date.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous. So new data published in the journal PLOS ONE 104 heterosexual men and women were enlisted to test the thesis over breakfast. Some participants dined on a high-carb menu while others were offered a low-glycemic alternative. 2 hours after the meal, photos of the subjects were taken and handed out, and volunteers were asked to rate each other's curb appeal. Those who ate carbs, men and women, were given lower facial attractiveness scores across the board. Those that wrote in their survey that they typically eat high-carb breakfasts and snacks also tanked in the ratings. What, I mean, really?
So now what's going to happen when you and Michelle go to dinner at an Italian restaurant? You're going to be like, honey, should I get the branzino or the cacio e pepe? And she's going to have to go branzino so she can look at you later.
Well, she doesn't eat fish, so she's not going to go with the branzino. I'll tell you that right now.
No, you. I'm not worried about her.
Oh.
She's going to. Michelle will look beautiful after a big plate of pasta. I'm talking about for you.
She'll probably be a little bloated.
I love a good branzino where you pull the bones out and you cleanly. It's just something satisfying about pulling the whole bone thing out of that branzino.
Feel like a real man, huh?
Yeah.
Never even caught a branzino.
So, God, what's all powdery smelling all of a sudden?
You are.
What just happened?
What do you think? There's one female in the studio.
What did you, Roxanne? I'm like having trouble.
I got it too.
I'm having trouble breathing now. What happened? What did you just do?
Nothing.
It's like when I used to baby powder my nuts.
Oh my! What did you just do in the room?
I accidentally reached in my purse.
Oh, no.
What you just sprayed some?
No, I didn't spray anything.
What is it?
It's just little perfume. It kind of came out of the bottle.
Don't call me, son of a bitch! Can't breathe now. My God, you're gassing us out of here.
What is it? Powder?
No.
It smells like someone took some carcinogenic Johnson's baby powder and just sprayed it in my face. Here, let's smell this.
It just opened up in the purse a little bit. And
oh my God! It's all. Close your purse.
Closing my lungs.
I can't breathe.
Okay.
I gotta take a break. I gotta cut.
That's fine.
You're gonna cause me to cut the segment short.
Okay. Well, we don't have to cut it short. Just step out, take a break.
I can't breathe. Would you dump the whole bottle?
It was an accident.
You've just ruined the show. All right.
It's ruined.
So carb face. It's a deal. Carb face.
Oh.
Yeah, Froggy's. I know it's all.
My nose is big, and I'm going to open the door.
All right, so just be conscious of being carb ugly, that if you eat carbs in a short amount of time.
Oh, you drama queen. Stop it. Stop it. I shoved a big
awful.
mat of rubber chemicals up your nose the other day, and you survived that.
So many scents.
Rox, you're killing me in here. Unbelievable. Yes, folks, I know that the Pizza Putz guy, I know that Dave Portnoy is in town. Yes, I know. I had to
call him the Pizza Putz. That should be your name.
I'm not a fan. Anyway,
I want pizza.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy, the Barstool guy with his pizza bite reviews or whatever the hell they call it. So he's in town. He was in Sarasota apparently a couple of days ago. Yesterday he was in St. Pete, and I'm just.
Unimpressed?
He had a pizza festival.
You know, I've just seen him review places that are really good, and he's trashed them. You know, now, have there been some reviews that I've seen of his, and I kind of avoid them, but sometimes they show up in my feed. So I don't seek out Portnoy's pizza reviews because he's given some dud reviews, and also like he can't pronounce when you can't pronounce the name of the restaurant.
What did he mess up?
Like he was in Sarasota and he couldn't even say Venezia, for Venice, the Italian.
Just because he couldn't even misspell. He said something.
It was like Venezia or something. I was like, dude, come on! I'm going to listen to you for a pizza review. You can't even name an Italian city and the name of a restaurant. Anyway, so I'm not a huge fan of the guy. Plus, very controversial. He's had numerous accusations, offensive speech, and. He's been accused by women of, misconduct. Anyway, so he apparently he's in town. I don't know. He was in St. Pete yesterday. I don't know if he's also hitting some Tampa spots, but someone sent me a screenshot, and he was at, I have no idea what his review was, but yesterday, at least one place in St. Pete that he was at was Toby's Little Italy. which is in Diston Plaza in St. Pete.
Ooh, what score did they get?
I just said, listen to the damn, put your phone down, listen to the show. I said, I don't know the score yet. I don't know if they go ahead and smash your screen.
Hey, it's down. Look, it's down.
What is wrong
It's
with
down? You happy?
What is wrong with you? He's throwing his phone. But Toby's Little Italy Pizza in Diston Plaza has a good slice. Yeah, whenever I'm over there, I will stop in for a slice because my eyeglass lady, I love Linda. She owns Diston Optical, and I've been buying. She gets me all my hard contact lenses, my RGPs, my eyeglasses, Michelle sunglasses. Love Diston Optical, and it's in the same plaza as the Toby's Little Italy Pizza. So the Portnoy dude was there yesterday, apparently. Again, Froggy, I don't know what the score is.
What's that cologne you're wearing? What's that new cologne you wear? What's it called?
I don't know.
Oh, jealousy.
Oh, I'm not jealous.
Jealousy
Listen,
makes me feel sad.
You can't deny that the guy has had a big impact on pizza. Is Portnoy influential? Absolutely. I just don't think he's a good guy, is what it comes down to.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's my opinion.
What if he was reviewing something like Dirty Socks? Would you be as invested as not liking him and saying he was a bad guy?
It's because MJ thinks he's a pizza
That's what I'm saying.
expert.
That's what I'm saying. You're jealous because of the pizza thing.
I know a lot more about pizza than Dave Portnoy. All right?
Where was it invented?
And I don't listen. I don't care about the score that he gives Toby's Little Italy and Diston Plaza in St. Pete. I know what I give the place. I give it a good score because they do have a good slice. And you know what? I tried to call Sardo yesterday. Our buddy Sardo from Sardo's Pizza on Ulmerton. I tried to call him to warn him that the Pizza Putz is in town in case he stops in. But listen,
how many places does he go to?
I have no idea. I have no idea how many places he's ultimately going to hit. The only place that I know that he went to was Toby's Little Italy. That's the only one.
Okay, listen, MJ, I have to tell you, I mean, I respect your pizza knowledge. I really do. I think I got you a pizza book for your birthday one year, maybe. I don't know. So I know that you know a lot about pizza. And I also know that people have different taste buds and different opinions. So you might like one pizza and someone else might like. Why do you think that just because you've eaten a lot of it, is that what makes you better?
There's a lot of crappy pizza out there. In fact, more pizza is bad than good by a large margin. My numbers are simple. I have always said that only about 5% of pizza is good. I think 95% of pizza out there is just trash. It's garbage. And 5% is good. But I like all different types. I like a phenomenal Detroit pizza.
Me too. Buscemi's.
I've not been there, but I do like a Detroit slice, square slice, in a blue pan, the real Detroit method. I like Neapolitan, which is, essentially from Naples, Italy, or Napoli. Michelle and I will go to Italy, and Napoli or Naples, Italy is a dump. But we will go to Naples, Italy. We'll spend a couple of days there just for the pizza only. And we'll even drive an hour outside of Naples and go to Caiazzo to go to Pepe and Grani, which is it's unbelievable. I'll like in New York, for instance, I'll try my best that when we make a trip up there that I try to get a reservation at Una Pizza Napolitana. So I like a great Neapolitan pizza. And that's typically it's the fluffy 00 dough. It's the wet center. It shouldn't be sliced. You should cut that pizza with a fork and a knife. But I love a New York slice as well. Your corner New York slice joint. Love a great New York slice. So I like Detroit. I like a New York slice. I like Neapolitan. I mean, there are multiple varieties of pizza. A bar pie, I like Colony. Colony Grill has that thin, crispy bar pie, which I like.
We had that the other day. It's really good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, you don't like Chicago. I love
Gino's
East cornmeal crust, thick as can be, like a pie, almost like lasagna with the big chunks of sausage.
I don't want pizza cake. I'm not I don't like Chicago deep dish. Not a big fan. because it's like, just go buy yourself a bundt cake and cover it with tomato sauce and cheese. There you go.
That's a good idea.
Chicago pizza.
Mm.
What a hater. I hate it too, actually. I don't like
You
that
hate
Chicago
Chicago?
stuff. It's too deep.
I'm not into deep dish. I do not like that because it's cake. I'm telling you. 8:31 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. A couple of interesting items that caught my attention. Florida lawmakers have now passed a bill making it illegal to release balloons. So the people that will get a whole bunch of balloons like a wedding thing or a birthday party, it's going to be illegal, a bill. So it's going to DeSantis. So will DeSantis sign it? That's the question. Is DeSantis going to be dissuaded by big balloon? Is the big balloon lobby going to get to DeSantis? But the bill is going to DeSantis's desk for signature. The Senate here in Florida approved it earlier this week, 38-2. The House passed it 102-9. It's House Bill 321. Oh, that's interesting. I just replaced a battery in one of Michelle's watches with a 321.
That is interesting.
Yeah, little 321 battery, and it's I just replaced the battery yesterday with my little bitty Horatech little Swiss screwdrivers. Changed out put in a new 321 battery, and now it's Bill 321. Yeah, so the bill makes it illegal to intentionally release balloons. So will DeSantis sign it? The bill says that intentionally releasing balloons into the atmosphere is a non-criminal littering offense, and you could be hit with fines up to $150.
How about those death balloons? Or the ones that they release when somebody dies that has like fire on it?
Oh, yeah. You know what?
It goes to somebody's tree and burns it down.
I saw that in the neighborhood. I brought this up on the show like a year or two ago. People not from my neighborhood came to my neighborhood, and they had like 30 people releasing those
fire starters.
Well, it's just like little arson devices.
Yeah.
They're releasing, it was like a memorial in my neighborhood. I don't know why they picked my neighbor. I'm like, hey, you guys live here? No.
But we're going to release a bunch of fire in the air.
Exactly. So they release these like white, like crepe
They're
paper.
like hot air balloons.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a little candle burning, and they're like floating like dozens and dozens of these fire starters over our houses. I'm like, what are you doing?
The last thing I want over my house is 30 candles.
Yeah, exactly.
Floating.
100% right.
Stop it.
But with the latex balloons, you have turtles that have died. So listen, I agree that there's no reason to get a handful of balloons and let the balloons go. So that could be illegal very soon if DeSantis signs it. So passed in both chambers here in Florida. So what's the deal?
It's important stuff.
Baker Mayfield. There were numerous reports yesterday. Oh, it's virtually a done deal. And then I saw another story that now the Bucs are in a battle with New England over Baker Mayfield. So, Andrew, do me a favor. Can you just do a quick search? Is there anything fresh since we came on the air this morning? But many thought that, listen, I would essentially subscribe to this, that the Bucs signing Mike Evans to that massive deal, that I thought that it boded well that they're probably going to try to get a Baker Mayfield deal done because, listen, they had a good synergy, and clearly Baker Mayfield well outperformed. And, you can see the building blocks that he could be a good franchise quarterback. But after numerous reports said, oh, it's virtually a done deal, announcement coming shortly, then last night I see that the Buccaneers are now in a battle with the New England Patriots for Baker Mayfield. So, and then here's another one. Pewter Report yesterday. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are not close to a new deal. Here's an update on the negotiations between the Bucs and quarterback Baker Mayfield. Both sides are still not close to agreeing to terms on a contract extension. Pewter Report has spoken with multiple sources recently, and while there has been some progress since talks began in earnest at the NFL Scouting Combine last week, the Bucs and Mayfield's camp were very far apart to begin with, apparently nearly $20 million apart. So again, now multiple reports are saying that they're not close to a deal, but probably in 5 minutes it'll be announced that Baker Mayfield just re-signed. Who knows?
Oh, God, every day.
It's this, it's that, it's the who.
I'm so nervous about it.
Who the hell knows? Hey, Frog, you being a wise ass over there.
No, I told you I haven't slept in weeks because of this. There's Baker and,
Being a wise ass. Folks, we really appreciate it if you help spread the word of the MJ Morning Show. Obviously, the idea is to grow the show as big as possible. There are people that are new to town that don't know about the MJ Morning Show. And for those of you that are listening, could use your help. If you can, tell 3 people a day or as many as you can a day or a week. Tell folks you listen to the MJ Morning Show. Just give them a little couple of sentence rundown, a little description of the show, and try to get some converts, folks that don't listen to us or don't know about us. So if anyone asks you, tell them you love the MJ Morning Show. Tell them you love the content. Tell them you love what you hear on this program. So if you have the ability to bring us new listeners to the show by being like an ambassador out there and kind of promoting our show, I highly appreciate it. Tell everyone, listen to the MJ Morning Show here on 104.7 FM, Q105, and I will be grateful for your efforts. So thank you very much. I'm not surprised by this, Roxanne. I don't think you'll be surprised that the cosmetic surgery boom that we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
According to a new study, it is tied to people that usually and regularly digest social media. This doesn't surprise me in the least. So let me try to simplify that. That social media usage on a high level is linked to an increase in people getting plastic surgery.
How?
Yeah,
Because you're just looking at other people and you're jealous of them?
Froggy, guess what? A blind dog finds a bone every once in a while. That's exactly it.
It's a blind squirrel finds its ass every day, isn't it?
You know what's crazy? I look back in my feed when I first started on IG, and I see pictures I posted of myself. I don't know how far back I go, 5-10 years ago, and I go, oh, I would never post that photo of myself today. Like I try to set. It's because you're so used to looking at all these pretty amazing pictures of people that you're like, I can't put something out there that doesn't look somewhat decent.
Most of the social media pictures are doctored.
Yeah.
I have to yell at Chloe. I've seen Chloe take a selfie or whatever and then run it through all kinds of filters. I'm like, knock it off. Stop with the freaking filters.
Yeah.
Give me a hammer. I'll smash the filters.
Gosh.
I don't want to use filters because then I feel like if I meet someone in person, they're like, oh, wow, she looks way better on her.
Like we know somebody that uses filters constantly and they don't need to use filters.
Well, I think they're addictive. I think once you start using a filter, you can't go back.
That's like dysmorphic. It is
very much so.
Your brain is being rewired, and that's what the study is showing, that using social media and photo editing apps, it shows a link to wanting cosmetic surgery because it's an unreasonable expectation. And people are looking at all of these, women, because it's mostly women with the cosmetic surgery, but you have all these women that are looking at other women that are not putting their real photos online. They're doctoring them. They're using crazy filters, layer after layer after layer. And this is like rewiring women's brains that, oh, I got to look like this. Oh, I love the way this woman looks. When the woman doesn't even look that way, they filtered the hell out of the damn picture, and that's pushing a lot of women to go get cosmetic surgery because of the unrealistic social media photos that you're being bombarded with, assaulted with every single day.
Yeah, and we don't always necessarily look like what we look like in photos because the angles of the phone or the camera that you're using. It's just, what else, MJ? They probably do a lot of Zoom calls, virtual meetings, and those have also made people want to get more cosmetic surgery. So they're like, they realize, I need this done to my face.
Because you're looking at yourself constantly?
Yeah.
I got to look good for Larry in accounting.
Hey, you look like hell.
Meanwhile, you're sitting there doing your Zoom. You have no pants on.
Oh, I tube it during my Zooms.
All right, will you stop it? There was a story. Hold on, I think I've got it in the pot. Yeah, I do. Hang on. I've got this in the leftover. I just reached over in my leftover pile. I didn't get to this earlier this week, but there was another study. 2 in 3 workers attend Zoom meetings in risque clothing.
Really?
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. Yeah.
Most American workers officially zone out just 27 minutes into a meeting, according to new research. This is a survey of 2,000 employees. So people just get bored. They just kind of gloss over. They tune out. But part of it is a whole study on these Zoom type meetings, these streaming meetings, which really just exploded, obviously, during COVID. And among some of the key findings, you have 1 in 3 people experience screen fatigue daily. 1 in 5 say they've been distracted by something in their coworker's Zoom background, like a spouse walking through naked in the back or some crazy crap.
Yeah.
69% go business up top and casual below. So that's the deal. That's a large number. So nearly 70%, it's like the old news anchor thing that they're wearing a suit and a tie. I'm talking about men here. Suit and tie, and then you've had news anchors that are just sitting, in shorts, or boxer briefs on the set.
You know what's crazy with Zoom meetings? I mean, they definitely have their place, and it's amazing you can do things remotely, right? So that's all good. But you keyed in on something, MJ, what was it, 26 minutes? You lose you get overstimulated, and you can't. They should have
20. One of the findings that found that 69% are risque or casual out of camera view below.
Right.
So what does that mean? Like women are sitting in their panties while they're on Zoom with a nice... Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
With a blouse. I'd rather think of women sitting in their panties than men sitting in their panties. But...
Well, okay. Can we ISO that, Andrew?
I have nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather think of women sitting in their panties.
Yes.
Just ISO that. Put that on the board, Andrew.
Yeah, I'd rather think of women in their panties versus men in their panties. I'll say it again. Yes.
Okay. So the 26-minute thing, they should
27-minute
27.
thing. Yeah.
They should just have an automatic thing on Zoom or Microsoft Office where the meeting ends after 27 minutes because you just can't focus anymore. And one of the reasons you can't focus, A, the distraction from the screen, but B, there's no eye contact. It's not an in-person meeting where you can, even if you're on a conference call, you can kind of just focus on the voice and you're engaged, but too much stuff flying at you on Zoom. So they should just get disconnected after 27 minutes is my
So
thought.
what have we learned today? That you get ugly if you eat too many carbs.
Yeah.
You get carb face, and you're unattractive if you eat too many carbohydrates. And that can happen within a couple hours. And now we've also learned that social media is feeding this unrealistic expectation for looks and jamming up plastic surgery. And now we have also learned that about 70% of workers might be
nudie patootie.
Totally nudie patootie below what you can see on your Zoom call.
Yeah, I'll sit naked all day.
There you go.
On the Zooms. I had a meeting the other day with 6 20-something-year-olds, right? It was an hour and a half. And let me tell you.
That's better than 26-something-year-olds. Yeah, go ahead.
They were engaged the entire time. And it wasn't until we were close to that hour and a half mark, I started to see a little fidgeting. I'm like, all right, we've done enough. Let's wrap it up. But in-person meetings, you have that natural eye contact. You can be engaged in a different way. So
That's a long time, an hour and a half. What did you guys talk about in this meeting?
You keep it interesting. Be entertaining.
Interesting.
Thank you, Roxanne. I do highly appreciate
Come
that.
to one of my meetings. You guys are welcome to sit in.
Or they're like, man, who's this MILF trying to teach us what to say?
Hey, don't call her a MILF.
They're 20-something-year-olds. I'm not saying I will.
He's not saying he's not.
They do it.
It's vulgar, man.
It is vulgar, but they probably said it.
Froggy, what's a perogi?
Oh, that's like a sandwich, right?
No.
A dog?
No
disease?
and no. And no. You don't know what a perogi is, do you?
A cookie?
No.
A slur? Oh, no. I thought it was a sandwich.
It's close. I mean, that's close.
A dog?
Let me call.
close.
I'm going to call Fester, see if he's going to
yeah.
pick up.
Message, but the fastest response.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
No, you have to do it twice.
Yeah, I got to do it twice because it goes to voicemail first.
But he might not want to talk food at this moment in time.
Well, I'm calling Fester on his private cell phone at 813-310-8444.
Yes.
See how he's doing. Fester called in sick today. The hell?
He better not have picked up a hunger.
Hey, I think he
Yeah,
did.
He did.
Yeah, Fester first. It goes to voicemail.
Message, but the fastest response.
What the?
You got to try it again now.
Jeez.
It's the rule of fours.
My God, how many times do I have to call him and get him on the phone?
Message, but the fastest
All right.
response.
Just one more time.
Hey, let me know if Fester calls in. So Fester called. All right, Fester did call in. Fester, hello.
Hey,
How you feeling, dude?
Yeah.
rough-ish.
Dude, so Fester apparently has norovirus or something, and you didn't even lick handrails on a cruise ship.
Unfortunately, no.
Watch your language because you were very foul in your text to me earlier this morning.
I
So
just wanted to be very descriptive.
yeah, you were very descriptive. So Fester, you think you have norovirus, huh?
You know, I'm a fluid factory.
Maybe this wasn't a good idea. All right, Fester, the reason why I'm calling you, and I don't know if you want to talk about food at a time like this, but Froggy has no idea what a perogi is.
Oh, my God, really?
All right, Fester, what's a perogi?
A perogi, for a person like...
Dude, is it coming out of your face as well? You're like...
Hold on,
Why don't you hack that thing up?
I'm just sitting up for the first time. Let me clear my throat. Hold on.
All right, let me...
Oh.
right.
Let me clear my throat. All right, go ahead.
All right. For a person like Froggy, I would explain it like a Polish ravioli.
It's a Polish dumpling is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
So you're very close.
But they're like potato based, right?
Well, they can be, but a lot are made out of wheat. It's a dumpling. It's a Polish dumpling, a pierogi. And the other reason why I wanted to get you on the phone is your good pal just ate 39 pierogies in 2 minutes.
That's amazing. How is he not the best athlete in the history of mankind?
Yeah, talk about Joey Chestnut. Yeah, Joey Chestnut, a friend of Fester's. The world eating champion. This is the dude that always wins the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July.
He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So Roxanne's right. The filling is a lot of times mostly potato, where it's more of like a pasta-y type shell.
We did a story earlier, Fester, that carbs make you ugly within hours after eating them. So imagine what a pierogi does, because it's literally carbs filled with carbs.
So
right?
Tuesday night, your buddy Joey Chestnut was in Cleveland at a Cavaliers game. They were playing the Boston Celtics, and there was a halftime competition, and Joey Chestnut ate 39 pierogies in 2 minutes. And these are not small. These are good-sized dumplings that he plowed down. Destroyed the competition. Everyone else, listen to this. He finished 39 dumplings in 2 minutes. Everyone else combined ate 23. All the other contestants, a total of 23. He ate 39 in 2 minutes. That's unbelievable. All right, Fester, do you need to go to the doctor?
Not yet. I mean, last time I was sick like this before in January.
Right.
And I didn't monitor my hydration well enough, so I'm kind of staying on top of that.
Don't end up in the... last time you had a problem, you ended up in the hospital for 2 days.
Well, no, it was I was in the hospital overnight, but they just pumped me with fluids.
Are you drinking a lot of water now, or Gatorade, or whatever?
I'm drinking water. My wife bought that Pedialyte.
Yeah, there you go. All right, man, listen, I hope you're well, but if you're not well, don't come in here tomorrow and spread your norovirus, all right? If you're not well, just stay home.
I mean, how would I spread it if you guys aren't touching my butt or something? I mean, seriously.
All right, goodbye.
Well, I mean...
I don't feel good.
Goodbye. See, feel better, Fester. 8:50 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, coming up, we'll start the 9 o'clock hour. And in the 9 o'clock hour, we've got New Kids on the Block with Paul Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff tickets. So your chance to win is coming up shortly here on the MJ Morning Show. Got a pile of school fools. You know what really disturbs me? I don't want to give it away. There is something that happens to people's houses, and it really disturbs me, and it's scary as hell. And I don't know what it is, but the last week, I've got like 8 stories, and it's about things that happen to a person's house. This could happen to your house. And there's not much that rattles me, but the thought of this scares the bejesus out of me. Hold on, what is it? Tell you coming up next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. Q105 901, and yeah, something is very disturbing to me, and it could happen to your house. Hopefully it doesn't happen to your house. Hopefully it doesn't happen to my house. Froggy, I think it'd be very funny if it happened to your house.
Why would it be so funny if it happened to me?
If squatters moved in.
I'll kill a squatter.
Now, seriously, I don't know what it is, but the last week or so, I have compiled, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 different squatter stories. Why are you smiling, Roxanne? Listen, you and Dig Dug are you're in the real estate business, and you guys have rental properties. You ought to be concerned with squatters.
You know what? I am. And that smile, it was like a yeesh smile. It wasn't a real smile.
That was a nervous. That was a nervous smile.
Yes. And
it's kind of like when somebody hurts themselves or falls down the stairs, you start laughing.
Yeah,
it's like a nervous laugh. Is that it?
Yeah, or just like yes, exactly, a nervous laugh. But I do worry about that because people know how to work the angles and
I follow a
squat.
YouTube channel that. They bust them, and then they have all these legal ways that they could stay there.
Yes.
There's a squatter YouTube channel. Really?
I follow a good squat. I follow a good these guys that evict people. Oh, it always turns into a fight. It's so great.
Anybody listening? Any real estate agents listening? Anybody with a squatter story? Anybody that's listening to the program right now and you had either your home, there are stories where people go on vacation and they come back and there are squatters in their house, and there are some nightmare stories where you can't kick them out. You can't. I mean, what the? How is that even possible?
You would have squatters in your house. You wouldn't even know it.
We cut
just
the
like
crap.
how you don't even know where your laundry room is.
All right, stop it. All right, 800-990-1047. Seriously, would anyone like to give us a squatter story if you're in real estate and you have a story, or if you've ever had a property or maybe your home was overtaken by squatters?
It happens.
If you have any angle, any story, maybe you know of this happening to a friend or a relative. 800-990-1047. I mean, you know what? It's like a scary. What was the movie with the Pacific Heights? Remember that?
Yes.
No.
Remember where he rolls in and as a tenant?
Never saw it.
Michael Keaton. And it's Pacific Heights, man. That just makes your skin crawl. And he's like, the landlord can't do a damn thing. He rolls in, doesn't pay his rent, then dismantles everything, takes the baseboard. I mean, just takes everything. Just totally deconstructs the place. All right, if anyone has a good squatter story, fire up the phones, 800-990-1047. And the stories that I have, and the last week, I've just kind of put them in a pile. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we ought to do a squatter segment. Here's one. Squatters set up at a Hollywood Hills home. When police knocked, an OnlyFans model answered. A vacant multi-million-dollar mansion in the Hollywood Hills played host to a group of squatters, including a person who created a fake lease agreement, a woman who claimed to be making content for her OnlyFans page, and a French bulldog. Real estate agents Emily Randall Smith and her husband Tyler Smith had planned to prepare the home for an open house when they were met with obvious signs that someone had made the home their own. The security box where the agents had kept the key was broken apart, and a new mailbox had been placed out front. The couple had shown the property to potential buyers before Christmas. This story happened in early January. Then it sat vacant for a couple of weeks. The home was listed on Airbnb and is fully furnished, including kitchenware. On the day that she and her husband returned home for the open house, they couldn't get inside. She peered through the window, spotted a man lying down in one of the bedrooms. That's when the couple called the LAPD. Officers knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Officers walked around the property, used a speaker on their police cruiser to order anyone in the home to come out. The homeowner told Randall Smith that they did not want the police to break down the front door to check for squatters. The police left. The couple didn't know what to do. Anyway, the squatters had stocked the refrigerator. They just moved in. Oh, man, look at the phones, every damn line. Now, hold on. I've also heard, what is the real estate venture? Is it called Open Door?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that there are some horror stories with Open Door that don't you like go show the home yourself or so? How does that work?
Is Open Door?
How does that? But
that one, maybe you're thinking of a different one because Open Doors where they buy your house.
I just heard a story or two about. I think it's Open Door. Anyway, look at the phones here. All right, so that's Anonymous, John, Todd, Tom, everyone. Hold on, I'm going to phones here in just a second. 800, one just dropped off, so a line just opened up. 800-990-1047. I'll go to phones in a second. So that's the Hollywood Hills story. Then here, squatters take over Georgia man's home while he was caring for his sick wife. Now he can't evict them. How can this be? A Georgia man claims he returned home from caring for his sick wife to find that squatters had changed the locks on his home, moved in. Now local laws are blocking him from evicting the alleged freeloaders. How can somebody break into your house, change the locks, and you can't have them instantly arrested and thrown out? How can that be?
I'm telling you, there's all kinds of angles and laws that they could do it.
Why? How? Basically, these people came in Friday, broke into my house, had a U-Haul move all their stuff in. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I can't even sleep. The cab man, Paul Collins, told WSB Television.
Oh, you can't sleep.
I mean, this is okay. So that's L.A., Georgia. Here's a Florida story. Squatters ravage Florida home and warn that people will be blown up or shocked if they enter.
Jeez.
I mean, like shocked.
Really, have booby traps?
Not like shocked like in like an actual
shock.
Yeah, like
just coming back.
Or blown up.
Was my leg.
Yeah. This is in a woman taking care of her brother's Florida home found it overrun with squatters, left piles of drug paraphernalia, trash, homemade signs threatening visitors. Carrie Black Phillips was tasked with taking care of the home in Milton, which is up in the Panhandle. She found her brother's ex-girlfriend and more than a dozen others shacked up inside. Even found she brought a gun to the home. I get to shoot the squatters. Is that her? Anyway, so 3 stories. Then here's another one. Why can't squatters like Brett Flores get evicted? And how did it get to this point? A former live-in Queens handyman has refused to leave the $2 million home where he once worked, leaving the rightful property owners out in the cold, and it's totally legal. How can this be? Help me. All right, let's go to phones.
I'm sure somebody can explain
All right,
it.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you've got a squatter story, 800-990-1047. We'll start with John in Lakeland. Hey, John, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey there.
Hey.
So, I was living in a duplex, and a big company from Orlando bought it out, and we had a few months to move. And as they got empty, the local homeless started moving in. And when the cops were called, I asked them, I said, why isn't this breaking and entering? They said, because if these people say, oh, I was invited in, they're not the judge of that. They could end up in a lawsuit. It's just a crazy law. But the new owners, they did something really neat besides evicting them. They said, listen, we'll give you $100 to leave. And the people took the money and they left, but I had to live with them for about a month. And I told them to stay away from me. Just stay away. Don't talk to me. They knew I carried, and I told them just stay as far away from me as you can.
Wow. All right, buddy. Thanks for the story, John.
Right.
I mean, crazy stuff here. Marguerite is in Tampa. Marguerite, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, MJ. It's Marguerite.
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I have a squatter story.
What happened?
My neighbor, this was a couple years ago, and I would watch their house for them and everything, and there was a car in the driveway. They had a for sale sign up, and I noticed the car was still there the next morning, and then all of a sudden, by later that afternoon, this for sale sign was gone. So I called my neighbor who owns the house and asked her, hey, I didn't know you sold the house. She said, well, we didn't. And it just so happens a realtor was going there the same day and I guess they had taken the box off, and the realtor found that there's someone there when they're trying to show the house.
Yeah.
And so the cops were called, and my neighbor came over and everything. And I mean, there were cops there must have been like 15 cars. They were lined up around the streets. And the people who came out was a man and a woman. And I mean, the woman looked like, I've heard, I guess, meth people have these pot marks on their face or something. That's what she had. He had.
So the meth users will get like scabs on their body and their faces and all that. Yeah.
She had them covering her face,
Ugh.
and the guy had this gold.
So what was the ultimate outcome? What happened? Did they get the squatters out? What occurred?
They did. They got the squatters out.
Like,
I'm not sure how the police were able to make them leave. I don't know if it's because they weren't there for very long. I had heard that if they have the change of address and everything, that then they have more case of staying there. I don't know, but it happened so fast. They weren't there for very long.
Marguerite, thanks for the call. See, that's at least somewhat palatable. Clearly, you don't want anyone breaking in and squatting, but to get them out quickly, that seems like a dream come true when you hear these stories that people can't get squatters out of their homes. I mean, you can't even comprehend it that someone breaks into your house and then you can't get them out. All right, Kim is in Dover. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Hey, Kim, do you have a squatter story for us?
I do. It's regarding my brother. My brother let some of his friends stay there because they were homeless. So he figured, well, the friends, I'll let them stay, in my home for a little bit. They had their address changed to his address. They moved in. After 4 or 5 months, he started noticing that some of his stuff was missing.
Yep.
So he approached them about it, and since they weren't working, they started pawning all of his stuff. So he tried to get them out of the house. They wouldn't leave. He called the cops, and the cops actually told him, hey, Mr. Such and such, do you have a place to go? And he's like, well, why do I have to leave? This is my address. He says, yes, but they live here too. So until we get it straightened out, you're going to have to leave until we get it straightened out. My brother had to hire an attorney to get them out of his home.
My God. And obviously they had a drug problem, right? So they were selling his stuff for drugs?
No, they weren't selling any drugs, but my brother...
No. I'm saying they pawned his stuff probably to buy drugs.
Oh, probably, yeah. Probably. Because I know they stole his phone. They were selling off family antiques. They were selling off a lot of different things. So he finally got them out of there. He had to hire an attorney to get them out of the house.
It's insane. Thank you. Stephen in Land O'Lakes. Stephen, you're on the MJ squatter lines. Hello, Stephen.
Hey. So my dad and my dad owns pest control business, and we do termite inspections. And, we have real estate agents calling us time to do termite inspections.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. You know, you get squatters out of your house, you tent it for termites.
That would be a brilliant idea. But my dad got started this particular morning really early. Agent called him the previous day, said, I need a termite inspection done on this house. So my dad went out there 6 o'clock in the morning. He normally starts on the outside. Whenever he pulled up, he noticed the car in the driveway, and they said it's vacant. So he said, that's weird. And he said that there were cameras around the house. So between the time that the agent called him to have the termite inspection done to the time my dad went out there to do the termite inspection, someone moved in to live in the house.
Yeah. And what happened? Were they able to get him out, or you don't know the final disposition?
The agent was like, there's no one in the house, and turns out that, obviously there was, but they had to call 911, and we don't know what happened after that.
Yep. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thomas, all right, 2 more calls, Andrew, and then we got to move on. Thomas in Bradenton. Thomas, you're on the MJ Morning Show, Q105. Hello.
Yeah, I bought a house. I was in New Jersey. I bought a house in Florida, and I moved to put all my stuff in a U-Haul, put my wife and children in the vehicle. We came down, and there were people in the house. And I told them that my situation, oh, no, we rented this house. And they had no lease, nothing. And I called the police. The police came, and they told me, well, this is a civil matter. There's nothing we can do. And this was in 1971.
Oh, my God.
And I had to hire an attorney. rent a motel room, pay for the extra time with the U-Haul, keep all my stuff in. We were in the motel for a month.
Look at this.
And,
We're eliciting stories and horror-filled memories from 53 years ago.
At one time, when the people finally did move out,
yep,
they removed the air conditioning system.
Oh, yeah.
They took the tiles off the wall in the bathroom. They scraped the tiles off the wall.
For what reason?
I don't know. They took them with them.
We can get good money for these tiles.
They smashed the toilet. So when I was able to get the house back,
right,
it was unlivable for a while.
Oh, yeah. That's insane. Thomas, thank you. All right. Man, look at the phones won't stop ringing here. Tom is in Ruskin. Tom, you're on the MJ Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, we're just talking about squatters. That the last week, I just have all these squatter stories from the Hollywood Hills to here in Florida to Georgia and other places where squatters can move in, and sometimes it's a bitch to get them out. All right, Tom, go ahead. You're up next.
Good morning. I just moved here from Minnesota 2 years ago. Last year, there was 2 houses right across the street from my house that were empty. And one day I came home from work, and there's a lady from one of the pizza parlors delivering pizza. And I'm going, she was there over an hour. I'm going, what happened? Can I help you? What happened? And she goes, well, I delivered a pizza to the lanai in the back of this house. They said it was for a surprise. And come to the front door and we'll pay you. She never got paid. She sat there for an hour, and all of a sudden the cop comes, and they're looking at the wrong house. The other one on the other side of them was empty too, and that's where they were. They had her deliver the pizza in the lanai. They ran across the yard to pick the pizza up, went back and to the empty house and had their fun with pizza. That happened like 3 or 4 times before the cops opened up the other house, and they weren't smart because they found 2 licenses in there, but other than that, I don't know if they found the people. Well, I'm sure they found them because they left their license there.
Wow. Tom, thank you. Listen, all the lines just lit up. We could still be taking calls for the next 20 minutes on this. Man, that's just scary stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what is your exposure if someone decides to break into your house and squat? What is the delineation between squatting and breaking and entering? You know, it's just weird. Just law-wise in different parts of the country, and you know,
seems like it's pretty basic. It doesn't belong to you.
You would
You're not paying
think.
rent.
You know, what about somebody squatting in your home? I mean, would you be protected by like the castle doctrine laws, where if someone is in your home, someone breaks into your house, you can shoot them, and you know, you've got something called the castle doctrine here in Florida and in many other states where you're able to protect your property or your business if somebody breaks in.
They got the squatter doctrine. They can shoot back.
9:20 at the MJ Morning Show. Coming up in just a matter of minutes, we'll give away New Kids on the Block tickets. New Kids on the Block will be there with Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff. It's going to happen at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater in July, and we've got your free tickets coming up in just a bit. So final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next, including the concert tickets. And a lot of loose ends we got to get to next. So don't move. Back momentarily on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. I want to get... Self in the studio. We've got New Kids on the Block tickets with Paul Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Your chance to win the tickets in minutes. I'll tell you when to call in momentarily for you to win the concert tickets for the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. Show's going to happen July 19th, and free tickets on the way in just a matter of moments, so stand by. I don't know if this is common, but the guy claims that he was just trying to flirt with a fellow traveler by claiming he had a bomb at the airport.
He was trying to land a joke that landed him in jail.
I've heard of some crazy crap. Of course, it's a Florida story. Yeah, this Florida imbecile was attempting to flirt with another passenger when he made a joke about having a bomb in his bag at the airport. What a tool. Yeah. Alan Berinsky told police he was trying to be funny when he made his little quip, his little remark at FLL, which is the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Is according to the arrest report from the Broward Sheriff's Office. Yeah. Berinsky was sitting at gate G11 in Terminal 4 when witnesses overheard him tell another passenger something like, "If the bomb in my bag goes off prematurely, I apologize to your family in advance." What? Why would you say this? Ever? Not just at an airport, but especially in an airport. If the bomb in my bag goes off prematurely, I apologize to your family in advance? Yeah.
That's kind of specific.
Yeah, 2 witnesses overheard this, became alarmed, and contacted the police. Hello, 911. Yeah, I'm sitting at gate G11 right here at the Fort Lauderdale Airport, and a guy just talked about having a bomb in his bag. Absolutely. See something, say something? Abso-freaking-lutely. What a nut. Who makes a bomb joke? I've always warned people, don't even ask for lip balm. You know,
No, don't.
If you're at the airport, hey, Michelle, do you have some of the lip balm? Don't say balm.
No, don't say bath bomb.
Say ointment.
No. Yes. Yeah. Say bubble bath.
It's not even, they don't take that as a joke.
Hey, while we're just like making small talk and flirting with a woman at the gate while he was, I don't know what airline it was. It doesn't say it in the story, but what a jackass. Ugh. Yeah, jackass. What a dope.
That's terrible.
I don't work on your pickup lines there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
Was she impressed? Is she going to go out with him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They did it already.
Yeah. He said that he's got a great restaurant. He said that it's the bomb. Then he said, hey, maybe we can find one of those old Good Humor or Hood ice cream trucks. You want to get a bomb pop?
Oh.
Stupid. So stupid. Run that by me.
Remember the bomb pops?
Yes.
I was more of a fan of the rocket pop.
I always liked the circus pops. Do you remember the circus pops?
No, I don't.
Oh, man,
What do they look like?
The circus pops were like a cone-like chunk of sherbet on a plastic stick. And inside the ice cream on the top of the stick was was an animal. So you had like a camel or there was an animal, a monkey. Yeah. Look up. Hey.
I'm trying to find him. I don't see anything.
Oh, come on. So, yeah, I don't know if they still make them, but though I love those things. And there was one animal, and if you got it, you won a free ice cream. So
Really?
it was called the Circus Pop.
Circus Surprise ice cream.
Circus Surprise. Circus.
These are old school. They're like,
Oh yeah,
they
man.
have a little stick on them, and
Yeah, it was a plastic animal.
and a Circus Surprise ice cream.
Yes, was it called Circus Surprise?
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
said
looking
circus.
at.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Circus. I got to bring this thing up. I want to bring back some memories for when I was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
5-year-old and
Wait, it's
we
just
used
a
to
stick.
chase after the ice
Yeah,
cream.
with an animal on top.
Circus Surprise.
There's no ice cream. It's just a stick.
No, they're obviously showing you.
I'm looking at the sticks.
You're looking at
Okay.
the stick after the ice cream is off of it. 'cause
Oh, it's that one.
You can't.
Oh.
Yeah, those are them.
Oh.
Obviously, if there's ice cream on it, you can't see what's inside. You're looking at the used sticks after they ate the damn ice cream.
Oh, it sits on top. How creative.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's one of those things like a scratch and sniff book. How come there aren't a lot of them nowadays? Did they find out those? MJ, what if they found out those sticks, those animal sticks, are like poison?
Oh
Dude,
man,
that,
Maybe they
the
have
red one
chemicals.
looks like it could stab you.
this is
Yeah.
bringing back some memories. Circus Surprise ice cream.
Well, I never had one of those.
Oh man, I guess they're not around anymore.
Maybe they have lead in them.
It'd be funny if there was like a wiener on one of them.
All right, Wiener Surprise ice cream.
One
Is
of
that?
them's a wiener, and you're like, oh, I've been sucking on this thing.
All right, Froggy.
I was just
Dude.
like, it'd be funny. Ooh, maybe we could put those
Dude,
out.
what is wrong with you?
Wiener
You
sickles.
gravitate to like just two things every single day.
No, I do not. At least 4. Wieners.
Saved by,
All right,
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Stop.
Okay.
Speaking of Saved by the Bell, Andrew, earlier when you were talking about the spaghetti sauce.
Oh, the sauce you can have, but the pizza's using mine?
Yeah.
The sauce you can have, but the secret, she's a mine.
I told you, that's my friend.
So
Samuel.
that was a Saved by the Bell episode?
Yeah, you
The sauce you can have, but the secret, she's a mine.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I got you with it. I got you guys again.
Yeah, you did. If you purchase some ground cinnamon at Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, don't eat it because you could be getting a mouthful of lead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like your popsicles.
Ground cinnamon sold by U.S. discount retailers contaminated with high levels of lead should be thrown away immediately. Well, bring it back to the store, get your freaking money back.
Yeah, how did the lead get into the cinnamon powder? That's weird.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration said cinnamon sold by stores including Dollar Tree and Family Dollar contains lead at levels that can be unsafe, especially for children with prolonged exposure. Cinnamon products included the agency's safety alert, or in the safety alert, include La Fiesta brand sold by La Superior and Supermercados, Markham brand sold by Save-A-Lot, MK brand sold by SF Supermarket, Swad brand sold by Patel Brothers. Anyways, a whole bunch. Then I guess most relevant, Supreme Tradition brand sold by Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. They have ridiculously high levels of lead, apparently. All right, speaking of food, I got good food story, bad food story.
Okay.
What you want first?
Start with the good.
Bad.
Well, good food story. Well, I'm trying
Bad first.
I'm trying to do some good here.
Good, good.
Good first.
There's a local 1950s diner. I saw this report on Channel 8. There's a 1950s themed diner called the Route 66 Diner. And if business doesn't pick up for them, they're going to have to shut their doors.
Oh, no. This happened to my buddy's place. It was called the Peach Pit.
All right, stop. I know that's a Saved by the Bell reference. Stop.
It's not a 2-0. Ha ha.
Stop. Yeah, Route 66 Diner. I think it's up in, is it Hudson? Yeah, it's in Hudson. And they could use some help. Just, food costs going up, and the fact people are eating out a little less, I guess, in their particular case. Where are they? Route 66 Diner is on US 19. So give them a hand. If you're up in Hudson, Newport Richey, Port Richey, head to Hudson and help out Dennis Wood, because he wants to keep the Route 66 Diner open. It's like a 1950s theme in there. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Yeah.
Would you please?
So give this guy a hand. He said things aren't looking good. The clock is ticking. The problem is last year we were so slow for a long period of time that we're still trying to catch up. He said the next couple of weeks for the diner may be tough. He said that some of the regular customers are only coming in once a month, not once a week. So go on, help this guy out. He said the food costs have literally doubled in the last year. A lot of items are just a lot of money. And some of the things are just really high. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, you've heard this from everyone. Food costs are through the roof. So I just hate to see. As a local business owner, Dennis Wood, it's the Route 66 Diner on US 19. So help him out. So try to
nice.
do some good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a little rough. A Chick-fil-A owner is in big trouble for allegedly performing sex acts on a 15-year-old.
Okay.
Hey, they're closed on Sunday.
Yeah. Her legs aren't.
All right, Froggy, come on.
What
it's a 15-year-old. What's the matter with you?
Wait a minute. Say the story again?
A Chick-fil-A owner is in trouble for allegedly performing sex acts on a 15-year-old.
I was saying the owner's legs weren't.
All right, just
the adult.
Yeah, okay, try to backtrack.
I'm telling you. Let me take it back.
Owner of a Chick-fil-A in Ohio arrested after having sexual activities with a 15-year-old. Arrested was 49-year-old Stacy Lee Austin. That's a male Stacy, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, deputies with the Rowan County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina say they responded to a home for a breaking or entering in progress. But I guess the owner is from Ohio of the Chick-fil-A. When officers arrived, the resident informed owners that when he got home, he found the male identified as this 49-year-old inside with a 15-year-old girl.
Ugh. Roxanne, you gonna hold up your joke for MJ?
I'll show him after the show. I have the most horrific.
It's not horrific. It's funny.
Wordplay joke. I have a really good wordplay joke, but I don't. That's my boundaries. I'm not going to make jokes.
Just show it to MJ.
Pertaining
You don't have to say
Oh,
it.
so you wrote it down?
I showed it to Froggy. What do you think Fester and I do during the whole show? We have our own little side joke.
Show me what you wrote down.
Oh my gosh.
That is awful.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I told you. I
It
have
works.
boundaries.
It works.
I have boundaries. I'm not going to do that about a story
That is
related to
awful.
pets. I know.
She expected me to say it.
No, I didn't.
Can I say what you wrote down?
Yeah,
no,
you
you
say
can't.
it.
Then if you say it, you take ownership of it.
Yes, he
I'm going to
does.
say those are your words.
No, that's your words.
They're my written
All right,
words,
listen.
and I'm going to rip
All right,
up
all right,
and
now-
not share over
all right,
the
now,
broadcast.
I've known some Chick-fil-A owners,
Of course.
franchise owners,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very nice.
I think if you repeat my joke, it could get us in trouble with them.
No, it won't.
Because I mean, for goodness sakes, they're not open on
Now,
Sunday.
so let me be clear that I've known some Chick-fil-A owners over the years, and they are fine, upstanding individuals.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, listen,
yes.
I'm an investor and a competitor. I'm an investor in PDQ. You know, I frankly think that the PDQ product is superior, but Chick-fil-A clearly is a national brand. They've done very well. I respect Chick-fil-A. And those that I've known with Chick-fil-A have been, nice people.
Yeah, very nice.
But here you got some cretin. I got to believe that might be a violation of his franchise agreement, that he might be losing his Chick-fil-A.
I would say so.
And Chick-fil-A is like a license to print money for a lot of these owners. So this guy just screwed up.
You're not going to say the joke?
No.
You wuss.
Oh, so why don't you say the joke, Froggy?
Chick-fil-A.
All right. Come on.
That's what she said.
That's what's running through Roxanne's mind.
I thought it was funny.
That's the dirty mind that Roxanne has.
Bravo, Roxanne.
It's unfair to Chick-fil-A.
That's light of the day.
Unfair to Chick-fil-A. All right. 9:42 at the MJ Morning Show. This is another food item. Last I saw, cops haven't found this guy. Cops in New Jersey. This is Glassboro, New Jersey. I guess it's southern Jersey. They're trying to find a young man who walked into a supermarket and stuck his entire head into one of those big pickle jars. You know, like the big deli dill pickles?
Oh, the big ones.
Yeah, and they have like a big glass jar.
Right.
So this guy walks into the supermarket. It was the Heritage store. And dunked his head into a large bin of pickles.
Pickle bobbing.
Crazy.
And I guess he was videoing it, and it's believed that this is another one of these, social media tards that is just trying to, score some viral video views by sticking his head in a tub, a jar, whatever the heck it was, some kind of a big vessel holding big pickles. He sticks his head in it.
I want a pickle now.
Yeah, cops are trying to identify the guy. He was recording himself as he did it, and it's believed that he was doing it for a zany, wacky social media post.
You're going to put my hair on the pickles.
Hey, dumbass. Hey, there is finally here today, and we'll give away the tickets in just a matter of moments. There's a St. Louis TV anchor that's in trouble. Yeah, KMOV Television, big TV station out in St. Louis, Missouri, and one of the anchors, well, here's the audio. Let me play the audio of what he said on television.
It is part of the so-called American dream, but tonight, colored homeowners are sounding the alarm when it comes to undervalued home appraisals. Our national investigative team looking into this issue.
Oh. You hear what he said?
What did he say?
It is part of the so-called American dream, but tonight, colored homeowners are...
Colored homeowners.
Oh, that's what he said. I thought you were talking about the fart at the end.
There's no fart at the
end. Are you kidding me? Did you hear it?
It is part of the so-called American dream, but tonight, colored homeowners are sounding the alarm when it comes to undervalued home appraisals. Our national investigative team looking into this issue.
Ooh, did you hear that?
What are you talking about? That's what I heard.
I think that was the co-anchor on the set going.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Because the co-anchor just said colored homeowners.
Yeah, you squeeze that in real quick.
Yeah, that's a little outdated.
What's this guy's
problem? Well, apparently it was written on the prompter. But if the thing said the F-bomb, would he be going F?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, you gotta edit while you talk.
You can't. Well, that's like. It's
Ron
like
Burgundy.
Will Ferrell. It's like just read it.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Whatever's on the prompter, just read it. Yeah, apparently this is a big mistake, obviously, but they're under fire. KMOV Television has apologized for the anchor using the term colored homeowners. The anchor's named Corey Stark. And according to the vice president and general manager of KMOV Television, I guess they're standing behind him because he said it was in an original script as homeowners of color and was inadvertently changed and mistakenly read on air. So it was homeowners of color. Now, I don't know if it's
still not that great.
Well, that terminology is used. You don't use colored for a black person. That's terrible. Sounds like, it's 1948 in like Selma, Alabama, and you got the whites only water fountain. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know how you don't stop yourself from saying that, even if it's written in the script or whatever. But that guy's in a little bit of trouble.
What's his name? Corey Stark White?
Yeah. All right, before we get out of here, folks, how about some concert tickets right now? Let's do it. Let's go with caller number 30. 800-990-1047. If you're caller 30, you are going to win New Kids on the Block with Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff at the Amphitheater on Friday, July 19th. Caller 30, 800-990-1047. If you're the 30th caller, you got the concert tickets. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show on Q105, and we'll call it a show. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you need to get a hold of me, I'm MJ at MJMorningShow.com. That's my private email, MJ at MJMorningShow.com. You can hit me up on Instagram, give me a follow, and you can direct message me at Certified MJ Radio on IG. Roxanne, you're Roxanne Wilder on IG, and Froggy is MJ, what?
Froggy MJ Show.
Froggy MJ Show. Have a great one, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Friday broadcast on Q105, and let's be careful out there.